right shoulder just before the 429 exit, causing major stop-and-go delays back from US 27. Another crash reported eastbound on I-4, blocking the right lane for those approaching 434. If you see any major traffic problems, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster. Buying custom blinds shouldn't be complicated or stressful. That's why we make it simple and affordable. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Ordering takes minutes, installation is easy, and we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Are you ready to put some cash in your pocket? Because Real Radio is giving you a chance to win $1,000 by putting $1,000 in your hand. You know the deal with our national contest. We'll give you a keyword at the top of every hour from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And all you have to do is enter it on our website at realradio.fm for your chance to win. With 13 chances every weekday, you'll have plenty of opportunities to win $1,000 in your hand. But there is a catch, because there's always a catch. Right. If you get a call, you need to answer your phone. That's right. The key to winning is picking up your phone when we call. So don't send us to voicemail. This contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Hey Orlando, Joe Rossi here for Greenway Kia. We've got 3 metro locations, meaning we have 3 times the inventory. All priced clearly online with Greenway all-in pricing. The price you see is the price you pay. No games, no additional fees, just total transparency. And that goes for financing too, with rates as low as 0% APR on select new Kias. And a helpful finance team working to get you approved, even if your credit isn't perfect. I'm Joe Rossi, and I want to see you in a Greenway Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com. With approved credit, offer expires 6/5/26.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
On Plus Nicotine Pouches present Comfort Chronicles. A 10 o'clock tea time. How comfortable. You show up in stretchy shorts, a breathable tee, and maybe no socks.
Let the dogs breathe.
While others sweat in pleated khakis, you're in your comfort zone bombing drives. And in your pocket, On Plus Nicotine Pouches. The softest pouch on the planet. Buy a can at onnicotine.com. Products for tobacco consumers 21 years of age or older. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news, commercial and SBA loan rates are falling too. Get a quote to refinance your business loan today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
ThatmortgageguyDon.com. This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. I recently had 2 sets of customers who had vastly different stories. One had purchased elsewhere 3 years ago and spent $5,000. And the other had purchased from OMF 12 years ago and spent $1,000. The difference? Our customer's mattress lasted 4 times longer and cost them 5 times less. Don't waste money on overpriced, overhyped mattresses. Visit the Original Mattress Factory for unbeatable quality and value. Sleep better, longer, for less.
We promised you a first-class country music cruise, and the first sailing of Top Shelf Country Cruise delivered. The bar's set, and nothing less will do. In March 2027, we're setting sail on the luxurious Celebrity Summit, departing from Tampa, stopping in Bimini, Key West, and Cozumel. See performances by headliner Riley Green, Chris Young, Lauren Elena, Randy Houser, and more. Your favorite country stars will be on board. Will you be? Book any available cabin at TopShelfCountryCruise.com.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, deposit. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie starts now.
It is Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. Lots to get to today, from Blue Dot Fever spreads to new details on the JPMorgan sex slave lawsuit, and an update on that shocking Epstein blind item, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. C-Lane is here.
How we doing?
And so are you. You can join us on the show. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday.
Let's go.
All right, let's see you sharing the show today. It's not just Cinco de Mayo. I know it is that, but it's Share the Show Tuesday. Spread the word. Send some links to friends and let them know about what's going on over here each day. Maybe send them a link to the podcast to get more people on board with the News Junkie radio show. We appreciate that on a Share the Show Tuesday.
Tell your friends, escucha mi amigos favoritos.
Don't do that. Now you sound like that commercial. Now you sound like the
amigos don't let amigos drive drunk.
Guys, where there was like was it a public broadcasting thing, a PSA what was it?
Kind of thing.
Yeah, like a public service announcement we were airing on the station for Cinco de Mayo. And it's like, amigos, don't let amigos drive drunk. It's like, oh God, I think we've gone too far. We don't even do that today.
Too many cervezas.
Yeah, like if they worked in one or two more things, like a burrito or taco line would have made the whole thing explode. It would just exploded like that. Okay, it's Cinco de Mayo. We'll see how we work that in today. Of course, we want to hear from you with your dispatches, emails, and all the rest. Work those in. tips@thenewsjunkie.com and record a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And a remembrance yesterday for a guy in our industry who recently passed. You know, a lot of people in radio don't take time to say, hey, other people behind the microphone are out there. And some of them die from time to time. Like John Sterling, the iconic broadcaster for the New York Yankees.
Rip.
And he is dead, unfortunately. He passed away in this past week here.
Now, did he have like a thing like Harry Carey did? Well, you know, like a or no?
Oh my God!
No, Harry Carey wasn't the holy cow guy. That was Rizzuto, maybe.
Harry Carey, you do the voice, not me.
I just do the one that Will Ferrell. Hi, what's your favorite planet? Mine's the sun.
Harry Carey was legendary because he sounded different. John Sterling. He was legendary because one time he got hit in the face with a ball.
Oh, holy cow, was Harry Carey.
Was it?
Yeah.
This is John Sterling. R.I.P. to John Sterling for the Yankees. They did a big remembrance at Yankee Stadium, I guess, in the last day or so, yesterday even. Here he is when he got hit by a ball that one time.
Now the 3-2 swung on, a pop foul back here.
Oh!
Ow! It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far.
I love how he grabs the mic and he's like, the broadcast must continue. He got popped.
Good for him for keeping it together, because I don't know that all I would have said was, ow!
Oh, my God.
Ow.
You mother effer. I would have tried to fight the baseball player. I would have done all of the things. He kept it together. One more time for him. John Sterling, rip him. He was the Yankees broadcaster. He got popped there.
Now the 3-2 swung on. A pop foul back here.
Oh!
Ow!
Ow!
It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that far.
A couple more
Holmes
owls.
ready to deal. A ground ball to third. Donaldson squares, throws to first in time. Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
I guess that's his thing right there.
We've definitely played him before for that particular part. I was right. Phil Rizzuto also was known for Holy Cow, and I think Phil Rizzuto was the Yankees announcer that was also featured in that Meatloaf song, Paradise by the Dashboard Light, where he was, they were the guy and the girl were starting to hook up, and he was doing the play-by-play as if it were a game of baseball, and Meatloaf was rounding the bases.
Yeah, I mean, I would watch that. That I would tune into more so than all this
Meatloaf rounding the bases.
If you just arrived on the show here and you think somehow this is a sports program, I want to assure you it is not, okay? I mean, if you like sports, we hit the viral news, and sometimes that includes sports, but I don't know anything about this John Sterling guy, but sounded fun. I mean, it seems like he was having a good time, enjoying himself.
Ball game over. Yankees
which shakes your brain around in your head. You just do that thing where you shake your head. Okay, rocked me already. We're not doing that today. We aren't, but we are going to celebrate Cinco de Mayo with you.
Nice.
So here's what you can do. All of your dispatches in Espanol today.
Yeah.
And then we'll decipher on our side. Please, actually, don't do that. Please don't do that. Please do not do that for Cinco de Mayo. I do have something for you, though. And I wanted to talk about this right off the jump. C-Lane, you're not into this world yet because your son he's so young. He's 2.5 years old. Jackson is. But a lot of parents who are listening to the show right now have kids that are of the sports playing age, right? And when your kids play sports, play baseball, sadly, some of them play soccer. I don't really care about soccer. Football, whatever they're into.
Edgelord here.
You got all these things going on, right? Sports wise with young kids. And it's great. I played soccer when I was a little kid. I kind of had a good time, but I have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder about it because I've been terrible at all of the sports I've played in my
I had a great time.
playing.
I have a 100% perfect soccer record.
Yeah. How many games again?
I played one game.
One game?
I scored the game-winning goal.
Yeah.
And I never played soccer again.
Unbelievable.
Going out on top, baby.
Have any of the MLS teams contacted you?
Show me Messi's record. I'm sure there's a loss or two in there.
I'm sorry. Are you comparing yourself to Messi?
I'm comparing my record.
You're a different Messi.
To Messi's.
You are a Messi, indeed.
Surprised that took you so long. Jackass.
I saw it. I avoided it, and then I went back. I went back to take a bite of the cheese afterwards. All right, I want to show you this because I wanted to talk about this. When you have kids, and I play about all this stuff. All these sports are great to have kids in. Soccer's great to have kids in. Get your kids involved in this stuff. But there's a lot of questions about what you should be doing as a parent as your kids are in these, sports programs. Like, for instance, Dylan used to come up to me all the time, maybe once every 6 months, and he'd go, "Dad, I found the thing I want to do." And I go, "What is it, bud?" And he would go, "Oh my God, Frisbee golf. I'm such a frolfer. I'm never going to stop frolfing. I wake up, I frolf. I go to sleep, I frolf. I frolf all day long."
Isn't he still kind of just finding what he wants to do? Didn't he change careers recently?
No. Yeah, he did. He did change careers recently, and he's a mailman now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he's a mailman.
Dylan and Peisenberg going to the company Christmas party together.
I have a theory on that, and I'll tell you about that in a second, but let me get to this. So he came to me all the time to be like, "Dad, I want to do this." And I go, "All right, you want to be a Frisbee golfer? I got you, bud." And we get him all the Frisbee golf stuff. 3 weeks later, it's rotting in the backyard. He doesn't care. He's not playing this anymore. And then eventually, he did end up sticking to some of the stuff. He started playing guitar, and he's a great guitar player now. He's very talented. He loves it. He loves music and stuff. But you got to encourage your kids when it comes to sports. However, there are some lines that I think you should draw. Now, one of those lines led to the arrest of this woman. Her name is Renee Lambert. She was arrested by Lee County Sheriff's deputies after she went onto the field and started attacking a 13-year-old boy from the opposing team. So her son's on one side, and there's a 13-year-old kid who's on the other team, and she starts attacking him because the kids got into a fight on the field. Here's a little bit of that, and then you're going to hear her getting arrested in a moment. They're all screaming, Papa, all right, and then big fight. All right,
they're fighting.
They're screaming, they're fighting, and this is a youth football game. The youth are out there. The youths are on the field, and they're playing football, and they get into a fight, and they're all screaming. Now, parents who are legit parents should be like, okay, stop. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's not. We don't want to celebrate or in any way encourage the kids fighting. So she hears the fight going on. She gets out there, and she starts punching somebody who was fighting with her son on the football field. She's fighting a 13-year-old football player, all right? She's out there in the middle of the huddle, hitting the kid.
Oh,
that's her. They shove her off the field. Yeah, they shove the mom off the field, and then the cop's body cam captures her now getting approached afterwards. That's what I want to share.
You mad at them for hitting me? I'm mad at an adult for attacking a kid. Stop. You're detained right now. No, I'm not. You are. Goodbye. You are. Stop. Stop. Don't around with me. You don't me. Listen. I'm the one who got hit.
I'm always mesmerized by white women who adopt this sort of verbal delivery.
Black scent? Is it?
Yeah, 100%. Like 100%. That's what she's doing. Like this woman has like made this a part of her persona and personality. She's as white as snow, folks who are listening to the show. But you can hear with her voice that she's adopting like a black scent here as she's talking. She's wearing a jersey for the football team. Went out there and was attacking the kids on the field.
Are being pointed out as being a suspect right now. You are detained. You are detained. So where's number 9? Go get number 9. A kid? Yes. You're an adult. They hit here. Come here. You're detained.
Are they arresting her?
That's my child.
Man.
It's okay. I didn't do anything. Like, you're detained. Get my son. You better get my son. She's detained.
All right, you get the point, right? This is just absolute mayhem, embarrassing behavior.
If you did that with the AI, then somebody pushed an update because usually the cursing in the middle of the melee is often where the AI kind of falters when censoring some of these clips.
No. And the overall point, this woman who's now been banned from the future football games, spent Saturday night in jail, game was canceled, is a lot of times parents will take this stuff too seriously. I want to hear some stories of that. Like Tanya says, sadly, this isn't anything new. I've seen it all too often at this age level. I want to hear those stories today of parents taking their kids' sports too seriously and just melting down like this. I do not understand it. It's something that's very foreign to me, as foreign as her delivery and speaking matter was in that clip. Is it
foreign? I remember, you telling some story about this kid whose dad was really proud of his Ebonics impression.
Okay, that is different. All right, that is different. I was a child. My father said, "Oh, you do an Ebonics voice very good, Sean." Didn't know at the time that might be perceived as offensive and stereotypical,
a little uncouth, perhaps.
Yeah. But and afterwards, it's like, my dad liked when I did that, but I probably shouldn't have done it. Probably should have stayed away from that.
You didn't do it on video, so.
So let us know, folks, like if you have seen these kind of youth sports meltdowns where parents take things way too far and get kind of obsessed about stuff like this.
I mean, you have a kid who's 25, 26 now. Was there could you imagine any point in your life where you would have fought someone for him?
No, 100% no.
Like if some kid was like beating up on Dylan, would you at least try to, beat up his dad?
No, not at all. No, I would go get Dylan and remove him from the fight to like protect him or I would make sure he was okay. But as a parent, one of my main goals was to, number one, make sure my kid was alive. And number two, to make sure I didn't hideously embarrass him for the rest of all of his life. And I find that when you do this kind of stuff, for me at least, like, you should find that embarrassing. You should find it like just unbelievably embarrassing that your mother came out and got into a fight with a 13-year-old kid, and then when the cops showed up, she's out there and she has no clue. She has no clue like how trashy all of this looks.
You go get number 9.
And the guy goes, the kid? You mean the kid? He's 13. He's a football player, lady. What's going on? I want to talk about that today. Those times that people took things a little too seriously in youth sports, those do pop up quite a bit. All right, we're going to hear from you throughout the day today. It's Cinco de Mayo. Let us know how you're celebrating. Send your dispatches and emails in. And we have so much to get to on a Share the Show Tuesday, and it's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram.
Skull Mike, stand by. Live read incoming, and then we kick off our behind-the-scenes chat. Stand by. Watch me nail this read, baby. Okay? Still need a script for Mills Air, even after all these years. All right, here we go. Here goes nothing.
192 and 535 today. Right now, things remain up to speed for those taking the Beach Line and the Greenway. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Biggie Deals. Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie Deals. At $4, $6, and $8, pick one of the new Biggie Deals you're craving. For a pretty Biggie deal, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
Oh, a hot one today, getting up to 86, 87 degrees. Your air conditioner, is it on its last legs? Is it making all those noises? Is it sputtering? Are you putting your hand every once in a while in front of that vent to see if it's still blowing cold like it used to be? You're unsure. All of these things can be solved by one call to Mills Air. Your air conditioning is a weird and complicated device that you probably don't know how to fix when it breaks. But you don't have to panic. You don't have to YouTube some great fix for this. You're just going to screw things up more or end up shocking yourself or something. You need to call Mills Air. They will send out a tech ASAP right over to your house. They know you don't want to be hot. They want you to be comfortable and cool, climate controlled. That's what they want for you at Mills Air. So make sure that you're reaching out to them. They're a Carrier, a factory authorized dealer. They can help you out to get a brand new Carrier unit that will save you big on your electric bills. Your power bills every month could go down, finally, instead of going up. Mills Air. Give them a call. 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Entering the courtroom are 36-year-old Chris McMurray and his attorney. Chris is nervous. 2 months ago, his construction company struck an underground line. And now...
Hello! Welcome to a Share the Show Tuesday. That's right. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday? TNJ chat, I see ya. YouTube, I see ya. Have you guys seen these incidents? Like your kids are playing baseball or football, and some parent is aggro, crazy, trashy ass parents, and they inject themselves into whatever's going on. It didn't used to be this bad, I don't think. The parents are way more of a problem than the kids are. So true. Yeah, that's true. What do you mean, Tony? You tried. You tried for my live read? I tried, and I mildly nailed it until I started choking. When I started choking, I had to stop, and C-Lane almost thought I was supposed to be done Wasn't. I wasn't. Softball parents can get crazy AF? I'm sure. Like their daughters out there? Are they less likely to fight, though? The softball parents? Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody, by the way. Ask the long guy to blow that sauce packet off the roof. I'll have to check on the status of the sauce packet. I ran out of time yesterday. Didn't get up on the ladder to fix it. So I don't know where we're at on the sauce packet front. 2 minutes and we're back live. One second. Okay. Wassoon. Have you heard Ice Cube's new song? I have not. No. Does Ice Cube have a new song? I don't know. Is that a good idea for Ice Cube to put out a new song? Sean, I was a team mom for youth football for 10 years, and I've seen it all from parents. What is the common denominator there? What is it that makes a parent do stuff like that? Is it like we call it a level of trashiness? Do we think they're dumb? What is the thing that makes these parents intervene in youth sports like that? Because it's so embarrassing. Zero shame? Karens? Yeah, of course. Living vicariously through their kids? True. We've had to call the cops plenty of times to get parents removed. An aggressive personality? I think it's like aggressive personality, incredibly low shame, and like antisocial personality disorder, right? Like these are people who just are not stable, normal human beings. And it's so embarrassing. Like if I was a kid and that was my mom, I'd be horrified. With a capital whore. 30 seconds, we're coming back. Here we go. I have received word the sauce packet from Chick-fil-A is no longer on the roof. I repeat, the sauce packet from Chick-fil-A is no longer on the roof. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
To get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, deposit, DEPOSIT, deposit. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
No one's really sure what all C-Lane's buttons actually do. This is the News Junk.
A little bit hot.
Is it you know whose fault?
It's
got
always
you fired up.
You know what I'm talking about. Who's you know who?
We had our meeting, and some things got brought up, and you were like, "I know what's happening." You're trying to fire me up right before airtime.
Sometimes I feel like we have these meetings on Tuesdays, folks. Right? And we talk to the program director of our our home radio station here in Orlando, WTKS Real Radio. And we get on the phone with Jack, and he goes over all the things going on at the station and what we need to know and what we could do, et cetera, right? We talk about all these things. And every once in a while, I feel like he throws out a little bait to get me fired up before the show so that I'll just go in screaming.
As a master baiter.
He is, indeed. And he baited me in. He goes, so how's the podcast tool been working for you? And we have this tool that we use after the show. I have to put the podcast out there. And I know there's so many people who listen to the podcast. I wanted to treat it nice and take care of it. I've fought through all sorts of technical glitches galore and skipping and low quality. And, oh, my God, all of these different issues with the podcast for the News Junkie over there. By the way, the biggest podcast in the southeastern United States of iHeartRadio and the whole platform, the biggest podcasting platform on planet Earth. So, and I try to put some time and attention into it. Yesterday after the show, I always finish the show. I eat lunch finally, the first meal that I eat of the day. And then I go post the podcast. And it now takes me about 30 to 35 minutes to piece together the podcast, cut out all the parts that you guys don't want, put the little music rejoinders in there, cut out all the copyrighted music, et cetera, et cetera. Put in the commercial breaks, and all of this stuff. Yesterday, I do it all. I give it a title. I give it a description. I get all of that stuff ready to go. And then I go to click post, and it's like, nope, some sort of error, something wrong on the podcast front. After 35 minutes, there's no way to save this, folks. There's no way to be like, man, Sean, would you like to save all of the hard work you put into this to come back to give this a try? No. No ability to do any of that. So I start over. I go, okay, fine. I'll start over. I complained to the company. I said, I just lost 35 minutes of my time. This is kind of a big deal. I got a lot of stuff to do, for God's sake. I start the podcast again for you podcast folks. I'm piecing it together. I'm like a mastermind at work. I'm pulling the segments in. I'm clipping this. I'm clipping that. I'm getting all the audio levels right. I'm putting it all in there. Again, I go to click save. 30 minutes later, boom, whole thing breaks again. It took me an hour and a half to post the podcast yesterday. An hour and a half
What's it
of
feel
my
like to
time
be a loser?
To post the podcast yesterday. And I go, Jack is trying to fire me up before the show. He's trying to get me pissed off because I'm wanting to make sure, like always, that the podcast is nice for people who listen that way, since there's so much of the audience that does actually like to listen on demand with the podcast. My God, it had me fired up yesterday. I'm running around yelling at the walls in my house. It's a whole thing. But today, we don't have to worry about that because today is Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Yeah,
let's do it.
Let me see. I always like when they do this. I do have an article from USA Today that says some free stuff you might be able to get.
Not only is it Cinco de Mayo, Sean, but somebody pointed this out in the text or chat or somewhere. Mm-hmm. Reminded me that it is the rare mashup of Cinco de Mayo on Taco Tuesday.
True.
So, the deals better be real good.
I got some. I have some for you. And a filler article, which I love when they do this. This usually pops up in This Week in Florida. But Barbecue Baby on YouTube says,
sorry, what?
Sounds more like you were avoiding getting the Chick-fil-A sauce packet from your roof, Sean. I'll have you know, I've just been informed as of moments ago that Chick-fil-A sauce packet that has been stuck on the roof of my house, that may have been from some nefarious listener, not sure, is finally down. All right, it is finally down. It is yeeted somewhere else.
I thought about this. If this was visible from a window on the second floor.
It was, yeah.
Could you not just, don't you have like an electric blower? You could open the window and just kind of.
Well, I don't have an electric blower. No. And I've never opened that window up there either. I don't know. I got to think.
What, are you afraid it won't close?
I don't know. If I've never opened up a window living at this house for like 8 years, I feel like, why would I open it up now? I got a really good seal going. I don't know if there's any logic to this.
Hold on. There's no reason to compromise a really good seal.
All right, folks, am I crazy on this or not? But this is just a working theory.
No, it's fine. I got a really good seal.
I don't open a window in my house if I've never opened it before because I feel like it's got a really good seal. It's quieter inside the house.
Have you opened any of the windows? Not sliding glass doors, windows at
Not
your
a
house.
single one. No.
So
not
they
one.
all have really good. They all have 8-year seals they're rocking.
Yeah, and that's why my house is always so nicely sealed up, and the AC is like nice in here.
Next time I go to secret shows,
they're saying this is crazy thinking.
Opening a window.
I don't think it is crazy. Don't open a window and break my seals. No, these are 8-year seals I got going. And I don't know if this. I think it started
after Thursday. They're never gonna survive.
Don't. If you come to my house for secret shows and you break the seals on my windows, we will literally have a problem. Okay, radio show aside, if you break the seals on my windows in my house, we will have a problem that we need to address in the next meeting with Jack Bradshaw. Jack Bradshaw is going to go. So, any issues with the seals on your window? We need to talk to you.
The seals,
fired
they
up.
went bye-bye.
Yeah,
they went bye.
Bootsy says Courtney opens them all up when the show is going on. She knows better. I think she believes in my theory. No, that's not nuts, Charles. 100%. This is a real thing. Like if you, because Courtney will let Lady out in the morning, for example. This is one of the few things we fight about. I'm just going to put it out there. This is, we fight about this issue every once in a while, Courtney and I, after all these years. She'll let Lady out, right? And we have the French doors on our bedroom, and she'll open the doors, let Lady out. Lady goes out for her morning stroll to do her thing, and then she shuts the door when Lady comes back in, and she will shut the door so softly, and I'll tell her, "What are you doing? You have to get a good seal."
Oh my gosh.
Please, I said, get a good seal. You have to shut the door.
How seal obsessed you were.
Well, it's a thing that I've always heard about, and I've always heard it was a thing. And so when she shuts the front door, she does it all the time with cars. When she shuts the door to the car, she shuts it so softly. I'm like, you didn't even get a seal. You have to have like all your windows and doors need to be properly shut. I know some of you guys are with me on this.
Lucille!
I know 100%.
Watch out for Lucille!
I don't want a single loose seal in my house. Everything has to be sealed up as much as it possibly could be. And I think that's totally normal, rational thinking. Because think about this. Is it obviously not the truth? I'll lawyer you in this one, Celia. Is it or is it not true that your window could be improperly closed?
100%.
Okay, so if your window is improperly closed, let's say not closed all the way, maybe the seal is not fully formed on that window, letting air go in and out and causing some issues with your seal.
Yes.
So we are on the same page that you need to have a solid seal on all the doors and the windows, all of that stuff.
In my page, you can reclaim that seal after a good opening of a window. You don't have like a cool day out where you go, hey, let's just let the breeze in?
No, never, ever.
Are you afraid of the outside air?
Missy says, Sean, do you slam the fridge door too? Yes, absolutely. You got to get a good seal on the fridge door at 100%. Courtney does that too. She'll shut it with like one finger. Or she'll say, no, it's a new fridge, Sean. This is a nice, expensive fridge we have. Actually, the weight will shut it. It's like our drawers. Like the weight will shut the refrigerator. No, shut the fridge.
My freezer, my big upright freezer, like whenever I hear it like adjusting itself when I close it, it's like it was the self-sealing.
You need to shut stuff with a little force. You can't do this. You got to shut the doors to your cars and your refrigerators and all of this stuff. What is Sean talking about? Is it not clear? There's a lack of seal awareness out there, whether it be from windows, refrigerators, doors. You shut it with a little bit of force. And I know at least some of you are going to be like, oh, my God, when my wife does that, it drives me crazy. She shuts the door too softly. And you don't get that solid. So some of you are saying, like, well, the door's either shut or not. You are wrong. You are wrong. There are mechanisms in the door. The mechanisms can be in the shut position, but you need to make sure you have it, like, fully pushed and pressed and it's in there tightly.
What? So just it clicks. We're talking about doors now.
It's not about the click. It's a thud. It's a doof, doof. And when you do that, you make sure
Sound
that
like
you have
an Uber driver's worst nightmare. Just like the guy who slams every door.
I'm a Uber driver's best friend because I properly shut and seal the doors. I make sure I get that done. Cosidia says, do you slam the tops on containers? What you are telling me is you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Because when you have little food containers and stuff you're going to put in the fridge, you want to make sure they're properly sealed, right? So the stuff stays nice in there. The stuff in your house is the same way. You guys know this is right. There's no use arguing this. It's just obvious. It's just everybody knows it. Anyhow, Cinco de Mayo. How do we get down that path?
I don't know.
Right?
You made a bet with yourself to see how many times you could say the word seal, and everybody else lost.
All I'm saying is, you got to have a good seal. Do we need to put this up as a poll? Like
No.
the seal matters? Does the seal matter? Wait, I need to hear your takes on this. I can't possibly be alone. Send a dispatcher an email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. All right, here it is. When I said I wasn't taking a shot at you, Seelan. I know you thought I was. When I said you hear filler stories like this on This Week in Florida.
I don't know how that's not a shot.
I didn't mean to say that you were picking stories for your segment that were filler. I meant you point out oftentimes when somebody has found a subject that they're writing about and they try to get more text in the story.
All the time.
They describe things with a little bit too much flourish or...
I feel like I haven't seen. I don't know if that guy is still employed. That one guy that I would always bring up his stories because his filler would be it's on purpose. I have to say it was. I think he purposefully filled his stories. Maybe he had to meet a word count or something, and he was just being a dick about it. But he would explain the most mundane, everybody knows kind of thing to just kind of back up his Florida stories.
Like for instance, the story would be a woman takes off her pants at an intersection, and he would say, a 32-year-old woman who was a fitness instructor got drunk and got out of her vehicle at an intersection. An intersection is known as the place where multiple vehicles stop, usually due to a stoplight or something.
It's where two roads converge.
Yeah. The woman took off her pants and threw them to the ground. Pants are things that people wear below their waist to keep themselves covered and
100%.
make sure they have a nice seal on their body, right? Like so they'd have that all worked in there. And this story kind of does that. In honor of Cinco de Mayo, restaurants are rolling out deals to help you celebrate. Cinco de Mayo falls on May 5th every year, and this year it will fall on a Tuesday. Again, we're doing some describing here. Cinco de Mayo, which is Spanish for May 5th, has been used. Thank you for that. Thank you. Has been used to celebrate Mexican-American heritage every year since the 1800s, according to National Day calendar. One of the biggest misconceptions about the annual celebration is that it's Mexican Independence Day, but it isn't. Mexican Independence Day actually falls on September 16th and celebrates when the country gained its independence from Spain.
That day too.
Instead, Cinco de Mayo commemorates the Battle of Puebla, when the Mexican army beat the Second French Empire led by Napoleon III in 1862. Yada, yada, yada. So they go on to talk about what you got there. Free Crunchwrap Supremes at Taco Bell. That's not too bad, huh?
Their purchase required? Do I need to have the app?
Yeah, Grubhub Plus members get a free Crunchwrap Supreme when you get an order that's $20 or more. So that's a queso bowl for $5 and drink deals at Chewy's. Love me some Chewy's. Shouts out to Chewy's out there.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got those real soft tortillas. That's the soft tortilla get. BOGO burritos at 7-Eleven. And while I would never do that to my body, Christopher Dolores Lane is a 7-Eleven food shopper, if there was one.
I tend to be. I do 7-Eleven. I do Wawa. But this morning I went, I said, I'm going to go in observation of Cinco de Mayo to Taco Bell. I went real token today.
Look at him go.
And I won't do it till next year.
It says 7-Eleven Speedway and Stripes. So all these locations for Cinco de Mayo. 7-Eleven Speedway and Stripes. Buy one burrito, get one free. Purchase a limited time walking taco. What's a walking taco?
Oh, walking taco. I think that started in like college dorms and stuff, but it's a classic. It's where you instead of having a party where you make tacos, you just get a bunch of those like value size or party, not party size because that's actually much bigger. You get like a single size bag of chips, like a Doritos or something.
Or Fritos, right?
You cut it open long ways.
Yeah.
And then you just pour the taco ingredients in that. Like you pour some ground beef and some cheese, maybe a little sauce or something. And
You
that's
just rocked my world.
That's your walking taco.
I have actually tried this before, and I never even considered to open the chip bag long ways.
Yeah.
What an absolute idiot. Wow. What else do we have out there? Moe's Southwest Grill, a free side of queso with the purchase of any entree in store. Wow, very generous of you. BJ's Restaurant and Brew House is giving out, guests can purchase a Brew House margarita for $6. A margarita for $6 is not bad. That's not too bad. Checkers and Rallies is getting in on the Cinco de Mayo fun.
What are they offering?
When I think Cinco de Mayo, I think Checkers. That's what I think. They have tortilla chips and tagine mango rings, cotton candy, Jose Cuervo margarita mix, and more.
Oh,
that's a different place. That's a different place. Hold on. They have the $3 sourdough double melt, classic cheese double, and double spicy chicken. So everybody just has deals and that has nothing to do with
Checkers and Rallies doesn't even have any food that is Cinco de Mayo adjacent.
Yeah, that's weird. They really forced it there. This should be only for things that embrace the Tex-Mex or Mexican food culture. You should not be able to work in a sourdough double melt. I don't think there's ever been a Spanish person who's ever had a sourdough double melt.
I'm sure in the history of history,
I don't know.
It's happened.
I don't know if they've gone there. I don't usually see Mexicans at Checkers. I don't. I mean, maybe I'm going at the wrong time. Although everybody, no matter where you're from sea to shining sea and all the spots in between, down south, up north, North America, South America, all the rest, everybody knows those fries are damn good. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Okay, quick break. When we come back, we got to get to one of the most awkward questions I've ever heard in an interview. I cannot believe this was asked of this person. I legitimately feel terrible that this person was asked this question on CBS, but I'm going to play the audio for you, and you can tell me what you think about it. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
So you guys get the day off or something?
I don't want to fight about this, but we will if we have to. You know what I mean? We will. I don't want to fight about this, but we will if we have to. Are you folks going to tell me? All right, here's the studio door, okay? Studio door open, wide open, flow going through. That this right here, right there, that. You're going to tell me that is as good of a seal as this. Ready? Did you hear that? You heard the thud, right? Like the thud and the seal and the suction that was happening there. Listen one more time. Ready? It's sealing. It's sealing things in. And because I do that, because I focus on this stuff, this studio with simply a mini split over here is always the perfect climate. You're causing damage to the hinges over time? Yeah, definitely. Definitely the hinges, which were built to make a door swing, are definitely being damaged by this. Yes, yes. Once latched, the seal is compressed. I don't know what that means. You realize it closes in the same position whether you slam it or not? Do you not know? Okay, under there. You guys can't see this. There's a seal, okay? Right here, on the side, on the top, there's seals all the way around the door. If you go like this, not sealed. Sealed. Any questions? And everybody knows it, and every single one of you know it. Every one of you knows it. on a seal. I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about Blue Dot Fever in just a second here on the show. Actually, we'll do that at the top of the hour. When we come back, I want to talk about a story that's getting a lot of attention. So we all know at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, there was a man who had a room in the hotel, and then he had a bunch of weapons, and he came through, walks through, busts right through the metal detector. The Secret Service people engage with this guy, and they end up arresting him. He shoots a Secret Service agent, but shoots him in the bulletproof vest, so everybody's okay. But this guy was trying to kill people en masse. He was trying to commit a mass shooting at a public event. Uh-oh. And the judge apologized to this guy. Pretty crazy to me, actually. Uh-oh. I don't know when we're coming back. Stand by. Okay. Connected again. That's why you'll have access to a team of specialists to help you invest for the life you want. Why? You've earned it. We're Hennigan and Walsh, and a team built around you. Get a second opinion. Okay, I'm back. 90 seconds. All right, back in business. The guy who was trying to commit a mass shooting, trying to kill the President of the United States of America, a judge apologized to this guy. Nightmare says the judge needs to be excused from the case. I'll give you the details around it, and you guys can determine whether you thought this judge was out of line or not, but I at least want people to know what's going on with this story. Oh, Ardennis with a photo in TNJ chat of some nachos. Free nachos are the best nachos. Those look pretty good. Happy Cinco de Mayo. All right, let's talk about this judge who apologized to the guy who tried to assassinate the president at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I'll give you all the context and stuff. We can decide what we think about this. We're coming back right now. Here we go.
Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Skip this. Tap that red talkback mic on the iHeartRadio app while listening to your favorite station.
You guys rock.
Instant feedback. And the best feature, if you mess up,
hopefully I'm sending these messages correctly.
Do it again. Leave a talkback now on the free iHeartRadio app.
Spring into deals at Lowe's. Get select 1.5 gallon annuals hanging baskets, 2 for $15. Plus, get 3 free bags of Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic feet garden soil when you buy 3. Valid through 5/6. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Because therapy's expensive, and we have microphones. This is the...
Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May. It's one of those holidays. It really is. And I got to tell you, I do get annoyed when stuff like this happens. Cinco de Mayo is one of those holidays where everybody just kind of enjoys themselves and has fun. And
you get annoyed by people having fun?
No. That's not what I dislike at all. I love Cinco de Mayo. I think it's cool. I think, everybody goes out. Everybody. Be like, Cinco de Mayo. Just like everybody becomes Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Everybody on Cinco de Mayo was like, let's go celebrate, have a couple of drinks, let's chill out. And most people are respectful and just having fun and enjoying themselves. Mexicans are chilling. They're cool with it. They're celebrating it more than anybody else in the United States of America. But then there'll be some other people who, on behalf of the Mexicans, clutch their pearls, and they'll be like, Cinco de Mayo is an offensive American holiday, and what are you doing? And all of those people try to ruin it. And I don't want you to let a single one of those ruiners get at your Cinco de Mayo today. I just wanted to get that out there. I want you to enjoy yourself. I don't care if you go out and have a margarita or 2 or 4. I want you to kick back with some friends, have some delicious food, maybe even celebrate Mexican cuisine, because it is glorious, and you should be celebrating the delicious foods these folks are making. The Mexican people are great people. All right, and I know this is not something necessarily that happens in their country, but it happens in ours, and they like it too. So stop being upset for them, for God's sakes. Or let us know how you feel. Mexicans, right to the front of the line. All right, Mexicans today, right to the front of the line with your thoughts on Cinco de Mayo. Let us know. Send a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll get to some of those here in just a bit. Also, the emails coming in. But I wanted to work in this story. I don't know if we have enough time for it right now, actually. I might have to hold off on this just a second. About the judge in the case of the guy who tried to assassinate Trump at the White House Correspondents' Meeting. It was just overall tried to go in there and kill a bunch of people. He had a gun. He was rushing into the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And then the judge apologized to this guy. The judge in this guy's case apologized to him. In fact, I'll get in some of the details here. Let me see. This says, new judge apologizes in court to the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting suspect Cole Allen. A magistrate judge, Zia Faroukhi, said that he was, quote, fascinated and disturbed by Allen's treatment in jail. So he's worried about the way this guy who tried to kill a bunch of people was treated in jail. Allen was placed on suicide watch when he was first imprisoned. Prosecutors argued that since Allen told investigators he did not expect to survive the alleged attack, he could be a danger to himself. But an incredulous Faroukhi, the judge, wasn't convinced by that argument, drawing comparisons between Allen, the guy who tried to kill people, remember, and defendants arrested for rioting at the Capitol on January 6, 2021. Now, I have no idea how that is relevant to this situation, but okay. He says, the judge says, to me, it's extremely disturbing that he was put in 5-point restraints, a person with no criminal history. It's troubling. I never heard of one January 6th defendant who was put in 5-point restraints or in a safe cell.
Buddy,
if the only way to keep him safe,
different.
Yeah, if the only way to keep him safe is the most punitive thing, that's a problem. At a minimum, the judge said, I should be apologizing to him. We are obligated to make sure he's taken care of. Mr. Allen, I'm sorry that things have not been the way they are supposed to, said the judge to the person who tried to kill a large group of people at the White House Correspondents' Dinner hearing, or the White House Correspondents' Dinner event. And I look at this and I go, there's so many dumb things about this. Number one, if this guy who wrote in his manifesto that he expected to die, that he probably wasn't going to face punishment for this because he planned on dying, that he was going to die in the act. If law enforcement who arrested that guy decided the man who is expecting to die might take his own life behind bars and we need to protect him from himself, that is not a shocking or crazy thing that you really need to apologize for. I don't know what's wrong with some people's thinking. I keep seeing this. I don't know how you look at a guy who tried to shoot up a room full of people, even though some of them were journalists. I don't know. You look at that guy and go, hey, I'm going to make you the victim in this situation, and I'm going to apologize to you. This is an unhinged, bizarro way of thinking. I don't know how you see the world through these eyes. That you look at this guy, like there were mothers and wives, and there was all sorts of like just people, young people, old people, that guy eating his salad. He wanted to barge in there and fire buckshot out of his rifle at these people to kill them, and he thought he was going to die in the process, so they put him into some sort of 5-point restraint or whatever, and they tried to make sure he didn't take his life. A la Epstein. A la all of that stuff. And in the effort to do that, damned if you do, damned if you don't, the judge is like, how could you do this to this poor man? This is not the way we treat people. Rock Wilder on YouTube says, you are supposed to be taken care of, though, right? Regardless of the crime. Being put in a restraint and putting people on suicide watch who were talking about in their manifesto that they were going to die in this process.
Yeah, not surviving the day.
Yeah, thinking that person might also take their life is totally reasonable. It's totally reasonable. The guy did not think he was going to survive. He did survive. Now what? Is he going to end up taking his own life? Legitimate concern. In other ways, I care much less. Like, I think, you should give people certain things. You shouldn't beat them. You shouldn't harm them purposefully behind bars. But he's also somebody who tried to commit a mass murder. That's crazy to me. Crazy to me that this is the lens through which you view the world. You're like, why were they so meansy to you? Why did they do this to you? That is the backwards weirdo thought process that's happening for some people. I don't get it. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes people go overboard, and I'll wrap it up with this, okay? I've said things before that were deeply unpopular, even though they were so fundamentally true on this show. For instance, when Markeith Lloyd, a loser, violent criminal who should spend every breathing moment of his life behind bars, a cop killer loser, Markeith Lloyd, when he was arrested, I said they need to investigate the cops. Because the cops beat the ever-loving hell out of that guy. And apparently, not much of it was caught on any sort of video that we ever saw. The cops took a moment when they finally got their hands on this dude who killed one of their fellow workers, and they beat the ever-loving hell out of him. His eye popped out of his head. He's wearing an eye patch in the courtroom like a pirate or something. And I said at that time,
Markeith Lloyd.
I said, if they did this as a revenge to get back at the guy who killed their fellow officer, it's wrong. Okay? It's wrong. But this is so different than that to me. This is a guy who tried to kill a room full of people, who tried to inflict as much damage as he possibly could. It was his goal. It was his agenda. It was everything. And then he thought he was going to die. And they said, well, if he thought he was going to die, let's protect him from himself for a hot minute. He hasn't even been behind bars for that long. It's not like it's been 83 years or whatever.
Right.
What's the meme from Titanic?
83, 84.
It's not even like that. Like, he hasn't been behind bars that long. I do not get it. I don't understand why you would do this. The judge apologizing to this guy is crazy to me. But let me know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com or email tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Quick break. When we come back, blue dot fever is spreading. It is spreading right now, and it's infecting people. And I want to tell you what's going on with this. I'll explain. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
It's time to show you're weird. The 2026 Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival celebrates 35 years of weird. May 12th through the 25th in Lock Haven Park. Tickets available now at orlandofringe.org.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a crash off to the shoulder on I-4 eastbound before Apopka Vineland Road. Expect some delays in that area. Slow down still on I-4 eastbound before Celebration. Approaching that World Drive area, getting out of Champions Gate.
Hello. Out of curiosity, anybody in chat at all agree with that judge? Anybody, yes or no? Do you agree with that judge? Yes or no? I just want to get a lay on the land here. TNJ chat, Twitch, YouTube. Do you actually agree with the judge in apologizing to this guy? Yes or no? Couple of minutes and we're back live. Blue dot fever. Cole Allen has not even been convicted of a crime. What abuse does he deserve? Well, you're implying a lot there, Dan, aren't you? Like, what abuse is he getting? Right? You're implying a lot, and I agree that there should have been an apology for an abusive treatment. There was no abusive treatment. Putting somebody on suicide watch, putting them in a 5-point vest or a harness to protect themselves when there was any kind of fear that the person may harm themselves, when law enforcement has been criticized heavily for many people who have died behind bars taking their own life, would have been irresponsible. There was no abuse. There's no evidence of any abuse. There's nothing that would suggest there was an abuse here. So I think you're loading too much into your comments. The 5-point restraint was what was seen as excessive. Not if you think the person's going to take their lives. Yeah, I miss me with that. I'm unconvinced this man needs to be in 5-point restraints, but I don't think the judge should apologize to him either. A 5-point restraint is not a harness. It's being strapped down to a bed like you're going to get electroshock. I Googled 5-point restraint. Other people didn't. Hold on. Let's see. When cops talk about using a 5-point restraint in prison, what is a 5-point restraint and how do they use it?
A 5-point restraint is a system used to secure someone by restraining 5 key points on their body, typically both wrists, both ankles, and either the chest or waist.
All right.
In a prison or law enforcement context, this restraint method is used when someone is highly combative or poses a serious risk to themselves or others. The person is placed in a controlled position, often lying down, and the restraints ensure that they cannot move their limbs freely. The goal is to prevent harm until the individual is calm and the situation is under control.
Okay, now what we don't know is how long this guy was in the 5-point restraints, which is an important factor. Like, has he been in the 5-point restraints on the ground since that occurred? Okay, that might be something. Has he only been, was he only put in it for a brief amount of time? That would be totally different. Let me see. Judge apologizes. Stand by. Okay. A federal magistrate judge on Monday pressed a jail official to explain why a man charged with trying to storm the White House Correspondents' Dinner and attempting to kill President Trump was placed on restrictive suicide watch after his arrest. I have no problem with him being on suicide watch, and no reasonable person should. 1 minute. But the relaxed condition... he had been unnecessarily confined in a padded room with constant lighting, repeatedly searched, and placed in restraints outside his cell. So he was just in a protective room. He was in, like, protective custody in a padded room with the lights on. He wasn't in a 5-point restraint for the entire time, which would be, like, obviously overkill. We'll read a little bit more of that as we go on here today. Maybe there's something else we learned that changes my mind, but, I mean, come on. Want to handle this dude with kid gloves? He just tried to shoot people with buckshot.
Sure, the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-2013 or biglou.com.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. B-I-L-L-S. BILLS. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Because therapy's expensive, and we have microphones. This is the News Junk.
We're going to talk about this in just a moment. It's blue dot fever is spreading. What the hell is that? What's going on with it? What does it mean? All of that stuff. Blue dot fever. I'll pay that off. And a very inappropriate question, in my opinion, but you decide for yourself on CBS. Let's start with that, because there has been some backlash to this. Somebody who I actually have a lot of respect for, all right, is Elizabeth Smart. I think, in my own personal opinion, Elizabeth Smart is maybe the greatest victims advocate in the last 30 years or so. I can't even imagine what this poor woman went through. I think she's incredibly strong and brave and goes out there and advocates on behalf of women who are victims of anything even remotely similar to what she went through. And if you don't know, Elizabeth Smart was kidnapped when she was a teenager. She was 14 years old. All right, she was 14 years old. This little girl kidnapped from her home. Her parents were fairly wealthy, living in this Utah area. And she was kidnapped by this crazy religious zealot guy. And the guy and his wife held the 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart as a sex slave prisoner. And they did all of the horrible things you could imagine that entails on a daily basis. They kept her out in the woods, chained up, a couple of 1,000 feet above where their parents' house was in the mountains of Utah, I believe is where it was. And this woman, who's now 38 years old, has risen above this stuff that happened to her. I hate to even categorize it as that. The way that she was victimized, and she is living what seems to be a full life. She's into, as of late, she's in bodybuilding. She's doing bodybuilding, Elizabeth Smart,
right?
Which is good for her.
And this was the one whose sister, like, all of a sudden realized that she recognized the man's voice.
Yep.
And it was, I thought, a homeless guy that they knew named Emmanuel.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, the sister, after she was missing for a very long time. Right? A lot of time went by. I don't know how. See, like, if you look up Elizabeth Smart to see how long she was actually missing for, because they kind of gave up a little bit.
All right.
And the sister was the only one who was kind of there that could have seen something happening. The sister was a little girl, even younger than Elizabeth Smart at 14. Her sister was even younger.
So she was she was kidnapped June 5th of 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go down to the discovery section here, from October is when the sister, Mary Catherine, had the epiphany.
Yep.
While looking through the Guinness World Record book, that the abductor's voice was that of an unemployed man the family knew, whom they had hired for a day to work on the roof and rake leaves.
Yeah, so she goes to the authorities at the time, and she goes, I know it was. It was Emmanuel. It was this guy. It was this dude. He's the one who took Elizabeth. And the cops kind of dismissed it, didn't really go after the lead that hard, thought, oh, it's been too long. This is a recovered memory, and it's not useful. It's crazy, right? Like, I highlight this to tell you what this poor woman went through. And then finally they arrested this guy and his wife, and they freed Elizabeth Smart, and she got to go back with her family, thank God. Now, after all of these years, now it would seem that the proper conversation to have with Elizabeth Smart, the conversation that I would have with Elizabeth Smart in 2026, would be about being a victims' rights advocate. That's brave. That's big, that's bold, that's amazing. She should be a role model to young girls for fighting through the hand that she was dealt here, right? She's talking with Gayle King, Oprah's pal, over on CBS. Here's the line of questioning. Tell me if you think this is inappropriate, because I did. Here we are.
And how you come out of that on the other side. Someone asked me, why didn't she get pregnant during that time? Do you know why you never got pregnant during that time? We're very glad you didn't.
I'm very glad I didn't either.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm just a late bloomer. I didn't start my period till I was in captivity, and towards the end of my captivity. So
that explains that.
Yeah.
So she says to Elizabeth Smart in 2026, a friend of mine was saying, why didn't she get pregnant in that time? You know, there was all of this stuff going on to you. What's going on with you not even getting pregnant when this was happening? And I thought when those words escaped her mouth, I thought, like, bro, is there no filter? Do you not think about these things? Do you not for a moment go, hey, maybe I shouldn't ask this? Maybe this is just patently offensive to ask the woman who survived all the things that I just told you about. Hey, a friend of mine, and that's how she drops it in there again. I have a friend who was like, if she was really getting raped that much, how come she never got pregnant?
And how you come out of that on the other side. Someone asked me, why didn't she get pregnant during that time? Do you know why you never got pregnant during that time? We're very glad you didn't.
Yeah.
I'm very glad I didn't either.
Yeah. We're very glad that you didn't, but why was it? It's so bizarre. I don't even think asking her about that there are docuseries, there are documentaries, there are endless articles with all of the information that is out there. I don't think we need to make her relive this all the time. I don't think you need to do an interview and go, tell me about the moment when he first took advantage of you. And it's sort of warped, to me at least, to ask some of those questions. I don't dig it, but let me know you think if that was inappropriate or not according to you.
It'd be like asking her about her first time when it was with a guy that kidnapped her.
Yeah.
And did it against your will.
Yeah, like, oh, why didn't you? And it's almost like you're questioning whether or not it happened to her. You're almost saying like, you would have thought that she would be pregnant why didn't she have the rape baby? Huh, Miss Smart, where is the rape baby? It's like, oh my God, dude, chill out. Why don't you ask her about what she's into now, which is she's into working out. She's into fitness. Let me see if I can get this. It's pretty impressive. Elizabeth Smart. There's probably something here as of late of her, and she is really, here she is. This is Elizabeth Smart now. I mean, ask her about that. That takes work. That takes effort. That takes knowing how to build muscles. That she's now a weightlifter and professional fitness model or something. Whatever she is. It's very, very impressive. Takes dedication to be able to do this stuff. Ask her about that. Ask her about the people whose lives she's changed. Ask her about those things. Don't be like, why didn't you have that baby after all? Really weird. Let me know what you think, though. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Let's talk about the other thing I teased, the blue dot fever, which is spreading. I'd never heard of this before, but all of a sudden I see people talking about the blue dot fever, and it comes in the wake of a lot of different things. One is, don't cry, don't get too upset, but I guess the Pussycat Dolls have canceled their tour.
No.
I know. It's upsetting. They have canceled their tour because of lackluster sales. And we're not going to be doing this. Post Malone has canceled some of the tours on some of the shows on his tour that he's on right now, I guess. Zayn, I don't really know who that is. He's like One Direction guy or something.
I think
Zayn,
so.
Zayn, that guy. He canceled a bunch of tour dates. And then they said Dolly Parton canceled her Las Vegas residency. Becoming the latest artist to cancel upcoming shows ahead of the summer touring season.
Yeah, but Dolly Parton's was for medical reasons.
Yes, and I want to separate her from this, even though they didn't in a bunch of the articles I saw. Dolly Parton, say anything you want about her, she can sell tickets. Trust me, if she wanted to do a Vegas residency, it's Dolly Parton. It would sell out again and again and again. She doesn't over-tour, I don't think. If she played any arena in the country, she'd probably sell the place out, I would think. I don't think that Dolly Parton has a ticket sales problem. Some of these other people probably do. And they said it's because these artists like the Pussycat Dolls and Post Malone are getting blue dot fever. And I go, what the hell is blue dot fever? Why are you just dropping that like everybody should know what this is? Blue dot fever is when artists, performers are obsessively looking at the venues where they're going to be playing, and they see the blue dots of available seats. And the venue, the blue dots that indicate there's available seats in those zones, and they start sweating a little bit under the collar, and they go, I don't know if we'll be able to sell all of these. And and you start to get really worried, and they get blue dot fever from unsold tickets and cancel the shows.
There has been, I mean, even if they're not specifically obsessing over it on purpose, there have been a lot of like sort of viral posts on different social media sites where somebody will screenshot the entirety of an arena's map where a show is supposed to be, the show is selling tickets.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of blue. Right. A whole lot of blue.
Sorry about that. I don't know why that was playing in the background. I was just pulling up this article.
You're catching the fever.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of blue. And look, we know what this is like, C-Line. We've done some shows, and it tends to be the case. I'll open the door a little bit on this. When you do an event, we've done shows at the Hard Rock. We've done shows at all kinds of venues. When you do an event and you put a bunch of tickets, like let's say 1,000 tickets on sale, when you start to sell them, you will sell a good portion right off the jump, and then people go into cruise control. They either buy them immediately or they buy them immediately before the show. So if you could look at every concert that's sold, it's like big spike on the announcement, big spike of tickets sold, and then slow but sure sales over a period of time. And then it gets up to the date right before the concert, big spike again as people go, I want to go to that event. If something doesn't sell out immediately, that's how they all sell. I've seen it from the biggest of festivals to absolutely everything out there. You have, boom, big giant spike at the beginning and slow over time. And the celebrities who are selling these tickets, as we have in the past, you start to stress out over the tickets not selling. This article says Blue Dot Fever. That's where you heard that autoplay video from. The huge stars whose tours have collapsed. A worrying trend is taking over the music industry, with fans turning their backs on stars. Now one company is copping the blame. And you can see they're showing here in the thing in front of me the blue dots from the seats that are available at these venues. That's the unsold inventory. And you start to freak out and panic about it. Now, I guess Pussycat Dolls canceled theirs. It says we want to share an important update. When we announced the Pussycat Dolls or the PCD Forever Tour, we hope to bring the show to fans across the world. After taking an honest look at the North American run, we made the difficult and heartbreaking decision to cancel all but one of the North America dates. So they've only got one that is going to be continuing. And they canceled all the rest of them because here's what they would see. You look at the arena and you just see all of these available tickets all over the place. And they had $30 fire sales. They had all kinds of things, and it just wasn't moving them. And some of these people end up in this position. But I don't think Dolly Parton's in that position.
No.
I think she can sell tickets. I think she's doing just fine. However, I think some people probably are ending up in this spot here. Let us know what you think. And if you've seen that happen to other artists out there, go to thenewsjunkie.com and record a dispatch, or email the show, tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com.
The fact that they're calling it a fever now is kind of funny, because then the fans who are clapping back are like, well, I have the cure. How about you turn off dynamic pricing? How about you fix this idea where the front row seats need to be $2,000?
True.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think that's just obviously true, right? Like, or there's some element of it where people just expect the tickets to be so expensive because everybody else is charging so much.
If this many artists have canceled shows because of this, it's just kind of proven to the artists and to the industry that they've had enough with this model here. They've had enough with this price point.
You're so right. Everybody who's saying that, a lot of people in chat saying that right now. You're so right about this. You wouldn't have a blue dot fever of seeing all the available seats if the seats were priced at a really good deal. Because if the seats are priced at a really good deal, everybody's going to gobble them up. Now, if the seats go too fast, okay, well, maybe you turn it up a little bit. Maybe you charge a little bit more. You take the price up a little bit more. And then you find a happy medium where the seats all sell and you're charging the right price. But I think there are some problems with that. I think that's a legit criticism. Tell us what you think. Send a dispatch or email. We'll get to those in just a moment. We got a lot on the way here on the show on a Cinco de Mayo. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI can predict your behavior. We can barely predict our own. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
Look out for a crash on Osceola Parkway east of Orange Blossom.
Hello. Upstate John said I missed some of his subs. Hang on. Stand by.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good. The guy's doing the thing outside.
I know, it doesn't really seem like those things are doing anything.
What do you mean?
Those.
Oh. Well, that's kind of rude. I think it's a little better.
Okay, good.
You know?
Well, I'm also hearing over here.
No. That's how it always sounds. Don't make that face. What am I supposed to do?
At least it's happening during commercial.
No. Nothing I could do can shut that off entirely.
I know one thing.
He's putting a blower directly to the... What? Oh, you're going to take him out? You're going to kill him?
No, he's a good man.
You don't know if he's a good man.
I think he is.
I think he is too.
Okay.
Okay, what are you doing? Okay. Just say. Are you done with your audiobook yet?
I think I have like 5 more minutes.
What's your audiobook called?
My Husband's Wife.
My Husband's Wife. Sounds a little cuckoldy.
It's not though.
Is it good?
Yes.
How many stars out of 5?
4.
4 stars out of 5? Wow. My Husband's Wife. Okay. All right. Well, enjoy the end of it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Waterboys is at it with a leaf blower again? I don't think it's him. I don't think it's him. The tickets would be a lot less if the concert was held at the Glorious Ballroom. I don't get you anti-ballroom people. Like, who cares if the White House has a ballroom? What's with the anti-ballroom? Isn't there enough shit to be like legit mad about? They would have added the ballroom. Oh my God! I woke up this morning, a fever dream, and a fucking ballroom's got me mad. Like, bro, I can think of plenty of things to be mad about. Okay! He's almost done. He's almost done. Now we're concerned about spending? Buddy, if we got somebody else picking up the tab for the ballroom in particular, I don't give a shit what they spend on that. Hi, Barbara. Hi, how are you? Did somebody say, I don't want to put out any wrong news, did somebody say that another sloth died? Is that true? Let me just see. All right, let's do updates on a couple of things here. One, sloth. Let's see. I don't see anything there. Check Fox 35. Dumpling! God! Dumpling! Damn it! There's only 10 left. F's in the chat for dumpling. Yes, please. Type F in the chat for dumpling. God almighty. Dumpling, we hardly knew ye. Can we think about this for a second? There's only 10 sloths left. They killed like 53 sloths. Think about... maybe people aren't doing this. Let's walk through this. I want you to picture right now, right here, a sloth in this studio, okay? I want you to picture one sloth right here. He's sitting here, you know, he's moving around, he's sloughing it up. One sloth right here, ready? 1. And then let's say there's 2, 3, 4, 5 sloths, 6 sloths, 7 sloths, 8 sloths, 9 sloths, 10 sloths, 11 sloths, 12 sloths, 13 sloths, 14 sloths, 15 sloths, 16 sloths, 17 sloths, 18 sloths, 19 sloths, 20 sloths, 21 sloths, 22 sloths, 23 sloths. Get the point? The whole studio is full of dead sloths at some point in time. That's what these people did. Dumpling, Jesus. Unbelievable. Another sloth bites the dust. All right. Please stop. Copyright, copyright, copyright. All right, we're coming back.
Music that brings you right back to the moment. Think of it as a time machine.
This is how we do.
A music time machine. Just open the free iHeart app, search Class of and the year you graduated to relive your glory days one song at a time.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
A safe haven of sorts for all of the 95%ers. This is
You too can join in on the show. All you need to do is go over to the website, get the podcast, and you'll be all caught up with everything each and every day whenever I can get that finally posted. Over at thenewsjunkie.com. Generally, it's up about 30 minutes or so, ish after the show. So there you go. Get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. I can't believe this. I keep seeing these updates. I can't take much more of this, honestly, but another sloth at Sloth World is Rip. This time it was, what's his name? The Dumpling. Dumpling is the latest. He's one of 13 Sloth World sloths that they brought to the Central Florida Zoo.
Would have been crazy if Dumpling was yesterday and Habanero was today.
Would have been, yeah. Cinco de Mayo, timing was off on this one. It's the third sloth death from Central Florida Zoo's efforts to try to save these things. Now they got 10 sloths left, all right? 10 sloths left. And I was trying to explain to people, like, just picture wherever you are, one little sloth buddy sitting there. He's got his little claw hand and kind of waving at you, one little
hanging
sloth
upside
buddy.
down.
And multiply that by, 53 or 54 at least that we're at now? That's the kind of devastation here. Another sloth bites the dust. Dumpling is down. Dumpling is down. I repeat, Dumpling is down at the Central Florida Zoo. It's just absolutely brutal. Bandit died Wednesday, the 29th of April. Habanero died on Saturday night. And now Dumpling was one of a select group of individuals who arrived in critical condition, and they just couldn't. Oh, my God, is this Dumpling? Oh, my God, you get out of here. You get right on out of here with that. He's in like a rubber pouch. He's just looking out into the world. He's got has that really nice tucked back hair look that sloths have. And this is what these people did. I think they should have to think about this every day of their lives. What happened to these animals? My God. That's the latest there. I hate to bring that to you, but it's just we're chronicling what's happening with this Sloth World thing, and that, it's just real. It's just what's going on in that case. All right, I want to get to a couple of dispatches real quick. It's how you can join us on the show. And this person says they got a comment about car prices getting so much more expensive, vehicle prices. A lot of people had something to say about this. My big question was why? I was like, why is this so much more expensive? I think we found out lots of reasons. Manufacturing, parts, the cars are more sophisticated. Sometimes the cars are more sophisticated and have more features because of requirements from the government. Sometimes just what the audience is demanding. And so now the average car is like $50,000, which is crazy. Can't imagine being 16 and go, all I need, get a brand new car is $60,000, everybody. Here's Pierogi on that. Hello.
Morning News Junkie crew.
Hey.
Pierogi here.
Good to hear from you,
Listening to
Pierogi.
yesterday's episode, you guys were talking about how expensive vehicles are. And that just confirms to me that I'm keeping this little S-box of a truck.
What do you got?
I have paid off. Paint's chipping. I got roll-up windows. AC is just fine, blows cold. I got an AM/FM radio with
Good for
6
you.
presets.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what? Till the wheels fall off, baby. Everything's mechanical in this thing, and I'm driving it to the ground. Because, hey, I don't have a vehicle payment. Anyways, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Eat a pierogi, and all the wiggles, all the pops.
Thank you. I don't know why this guy's promoting pierogies, but I do support that.
I don't know. Pierogi just sounds like the next Dead Sloth.
It does, actually. I hate that you're right. Dumpling, avocado, pierogi, all these poor things. I feel so unbelievably bad for them. But I agree with you, sir. You got some used vehicle that's getting the job done? Hell no, would I want to start right now fresh and have to pay off something, especially if it's not even that nice, for God's sake. That's one of the tough things about this. All right, we'll get to more of those here momentarily on the show. Somebody says Dolly Parton was canceling her shows because of a medical issue. They were all sold out. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know if they were all sold out or not. I'll just take your word on that. I don't know if they were all sold out, but I was saying I don't think Dolly Parton, even though they lumped her in with the people worried about ticket sales, I don't think she in particular was worried about ticket sales. I could be wrong, but I don't think that that's the case.
They just said ongoing health issues. They weren't super specific about them.
Mm-hmm.
She was forced to cancel her upcoming Dolly Live in Las Vegas limited engagement. Ongoing health issues, knowing the concern the cancellation would cause, she made a video for social media addressing her fans.
How old is she again?
Dolly Parton, 70 something?
80.
80.
Dolly Parton's 80 years old, okay? She's allowed to have an issue or two. She looks great. As a matter of fact, I think, didn't she just do a video? Hang on, let me see if I can bring this up, because I thought she just did a video addressing people about the tickets and stuff. She is, right here. Dolly Parton put a video out on her social media profiles.
Well, hey there, it's Dolly.
Hey.
And I'm here to give you an update on a few things going on in my life. First, it's concerning my health.
That's a wig, right? Just so everybody knows. Is that a wig? Dolly Parton wearing a wig at 80? That can't be what she looks like. Would rock my world if she took that off, though. Can we imagine that for a second? Dolly Parton wig right off the top of her head. If that is a wig. I'm just assuming it's a wig, but I feel like it might be. I could be right about this. Ladies, let me know if I'm right.
Yes, Dolly Parton notoriously wears wigs and has done so for most of her career.
Oh,
for
really?
Convenience, styling, and to avoid damaging her natural hair with daily bleaching and teasing, ensuring she never has a bad hair day.
Can we even imagine what she looks like? Nobody's got a photo of her without a wig on, do they?
Yeah, she did it in an interview in 2023.
No.
I think
Popped it off?
Looks like, let me see.
Just popped off the wig? Find that if you can. I'll see what she's saying here.
I have some good news and a little bad news. But the good news is I'm responding really well to meds and treatments.
I love her voice.
And I'm improving every day. Now, the bad news is it's going to take me a little while before I'm up to stage performance level, because some of the meds and treatments make me a little bit swimmy-headed, as my grandma used to say.
Swimmy-headed?
And, of course, I can't be dizzy carrying around banjos, guitars, and such on 5-inch heels.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Dolly. I don't blame you. Did you find that?
I think maybe it was just a thumbnail that was generated.
Okay. Dolly Parton wig off. I'm just going to check. Because, no, these are fake.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, there's lots of ideas of what she would look like. I would love to see it, because she's great. She's great. I'm sure she's still beautiful, 100%. She really is.
I don't know if this was always the case, but at least if she said she wears wigs so as not to damage her natural hair, then why are all these pictures of her bald?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would imagine she has hair under there, but here's the thing. Ladies, you know this. Older people, you know this. As you get older, your hair does get thinner. So if you see an older woman, Courtney taught me this. Courtney says, you see an older woman with a big ass full head of hair, that is fake. And not many older ladies who are in their 70s or their 80s who have like a big, thick, full head of hair that gets thinner as you get older. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. But yeah, for her, it's, you know, she's wearing a wig and rocking it. She knows what she's doing with that thing. All right, send us more dispatches. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your dispatch. I got emails and all that stuff coming in. And I wanted to work in something else. Somebody said this is a new thing that people are doing, which is like blue collar maxing. It's one word that people are using. Everything's maxing now. The whole incel language exploding everywhere. Everything's maxing, looks maxing, blue collar maxing. LARPing is a blue collar American. I've heard that too. This is a famous MMA fighter in Las Vegas, Nevada at his house. He's knocked down a wall of his house. He's doing a bunch of work on it, and he's filmed himself. He's talking about how it's right before his MMA fight.
A wall and build a wall today. We don't need to get into the reasons why, but it must happen today before I travel. This is what we're doing.
Sean Strickland from the UFC.
Over the course of like years of projecting, I've just been using this as like my pile of area, right? So I've had like garbage, debris, rock, wood. I'm getting a driveway put in here. So I rented a tractor, tractored it all out, and then the guys coming Monday for the driveway. People that like just sit at home all weekend and like, hey, I'm gonna have a relaxing day. I don't do that shit. I could train all day long every day, and like the thought of just sitting at home and wasting my life, it gives me anxiety. Can't do it. Must be done. You either pay somebody to do it yourself.
So there was allegations that this guy was blue collar LARPing, which I think is a thing that a lot of guys are want to do these days, where you go, you're like glorifying something, which to me is hilarious because you're glorifying something that's a 9 to 5 or beyond for somebody. Like somebody is out there that they do this as their job, right? This is their literal job is this. Every day they go to a construction work site and there's
they
concrete.
have legitimate businesses that let you do this. You know, my friend for his bachelor party in Vegas, they went to that place, that like adult sandbox where they breathalyze you to make sure, you know, when you walk in to make sure you're not drunk while you're doing this, because once you pay the fee, you go out there and you get to play with bulldozers and front loaders and all kinds of different big, you know, construction tools.
Yep.
And it makes a lot of money for these people.
That's what this is. That's what this is. And it's especially common amongst dudes who are a little bit richer and have a little more success, but they want to act like they're still blue collar. I like to have a project. Don't get me wrong. We're working on doing the backyard and getting everything all built out back there. We're working on a couple other things to improve the house. We always have something we're cooking up around here, trying to make the house better and better and better. And that's great. But there's an element of this where guys are like, oh, yeah. You know, I do this for the fun of it, man. And I always think about the construction worker who works with rebar and concrete all day long, who's walking around on fresh plywood roofs with no safety equipment, just trying to hang on. And I go, what does that person think about the guys? I just love it. I just love to do it. It's my favorite thing.
I don't know. I couldn't tell by looking at it because obviously not my world, not my, not my lane. But it looks like he kind of knew what he was doing with the equipment.
He's driving a Bobcat, though. I don't think it's that hard.
Right. For me, the most annoying part of that video was I couldn't even imagine just sitting around doing nothing, relaxing. What's relaxing? Can't relax. I'm only relaxed if my BPMs are up and I'm sweating.
You're doing this right before you fight some big UFC fight. Like half of your audience is people who do that. They work during the week. They work literal jobs during the week. I'm growing kind of tired of something, and I'll briefly explain this before we hit the break here. I'm growing a little bit tired of the person with a much easier job in existence who is pretending like they like to do the thing that's somebody else's job. And I'll explain. There's a lot of this going on. Or there's a lot of people, like I've seen a lot of streamers online who will suggest that streaming is actually a harder job than a 9 to 5 or a construction job, or like You don't understand the mental impact that this is. It's taxing on you. I'm here to tell you that doing this job and hosting this show every day, while it's not the most mentally easy thing to do, it is literally the physically easiest thing I could possibly do. I'm not doing much physical work at all. And I would take it every single day over all of you who are out there working hard in the sun, like Charles, who does his own construction projects, like all you other folks who have real jobs like this. Not for a second am I going to LARP and pretend like I want to do your gig and or that you should on the weekend instead of relaxing. Get out of here with that nonsense. Quick break. When we come back, we'll get into more of your reactions. Your feedback is on the way. Also, the hot sheet coming up next on the News Junkie.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. What? Real Radio.
Hello. Welcome back. So much to get to still before we wrap up the show. Hey, what's the big prediction bet right now on TNJ chat? Anything I'm missing?
Summer starts early in Florida, which means we get more beach time, more sunshine, and more time to enjoy refreshing, sweet, and juicy Florida watermelon. The best part of summer is already here. Locally grown, fresh from Florida watermelon. There's sunshine in every bite.
Guys, let's have a chat here. If you are starting to see this,
We got an update on Spirit Airlines, a 12-year-old getting arrested, and a big update on that shocking Epstein blind item, believe it or not.
you can brush that kind of stuff off. You can joke about it, but when it matters the most, when push comes to shove,
We'll get to that all momentarily. I miss my construction days. Not me.
And the new partner can only ignore
Not me.
If you're still depending on pills, hoping for a different result.
If Sean finds out the bet, it'll change the outcome. No, nothing to see here. Sean, keep moving.
Because the old ones aren't working as well anymore. Well, that means the underlying issues causing your symptoms, they're getting worse, and that's why.
Well, that makes me want to see the bet more.
They want you to get out.
What is this bet that you don't want me to see it?
Sooner rather than later, because they want to avoid surgery.
What are you betting on that you don't want me to see this on the predictions on TNJ chat?
They're not invasive. There are plenty of options that are pain-free, and 98%.
I wasn't that intrigued before, but now I need to know.
Same day, Premier Medical Centers.
It's for the people, not you?
Get things back to where they should be.
I know it's for the people.
So I encourage you to call them. They're very knowledgeable, very helpful.
Number of plane stores? Oh, yeah. Well, I figured.
723-7533. Don't overthink it. Just call 4.
I don't think there's been too many yet, have there?
7533. Or find them online at Premier.
It may involve sloths.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should.
I miss framing houses, 13 years, skinny, tan, and in super shape. Sunday John, you're right about that side effect of that work. I have never been in as good a shape as I was when I was doing the water delivery job for, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, maybe longer. When I delivered water for Carolina Mountain Water, I've talked about it a bunch on the show. 5-gallon water bottles all day long, loading up the van, 25, 30 deliveries on some days, going to these houses. Some houses would take 10, 15 bottles. I've never been in as good a shape in my life as I was doing that job. Sean, did you see The Mummy? Any good? No, I didn't. Isn't it The Mummy by Lee something? Like, guy's got his name worked into it? I miss sweating my balls off and loading fireworks every day. It sucked, but it was fun. Delivering groceries to women in their lingerie helps keep me in shape. What? You're like the pizza subreddit. By the way, you absolute freaks. I talked about the subreddit where pizza delivery driver guys are filmed by women who have been bet. Like, there's some sort of bet going on, and the woman will answer the door naked or mostly naked, or even offer up something to the delivery driver who comes to the house, and it's real. It's not like staged, like all the videos on the hubs. right? And I just briefly mentioned this because I had seen that subreddit go viral at one point in time and made note of it. I said, yeah, there's some subreddit where women take dares and they order the pizza or they order whatever, and it's legitimate, and then they answer naked. Like 5 of you emailed me after the show yesterday. So, Sean, what was that, the pizza website you were talking about? What was that subreddit you were talking about with the, the women and the pizza? You creepy bastard. All right, here we go. Coming back.
It don't make any dish sing. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
This portion of the News Junkie is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio.
No one's really sure what all C-Lane's buttons actually do. This is the News Junkie.
As the article states, that stands for the 5th of May, just so you know.
Ooh, how exotic.
Yeah, just letting you know, in case you were one of the 3 people on planet Earth that couldn't figure that part out. We've got the hot sheet coming up in just a moment here on the show, and it's wide open for you to join us. Very easy for you to do as well. You can very easily tell us what's on your mind by recording a dispatch. That's what we call them over at thenewsjunkie.com, thenewsjunkie.com. Okay, let's see here real quick. Somebody says, I appreciate you saying that about hard work, about actual hard work. Nick says, I fell off a ladder 2 weeks ago on a job I was working, and then I got stung in the eye 5 times by the same wasp.
Jeez.
I took a fall off a 6-foot ladder, broke 2 ribs, and literally couldn't walk for a week.
Hey, is your eye okay, man? 5 times.
That's not good.
Same eye?
He says, I've been back to work for about 5 days now, hardly being able to walk, still getting up on a damn ladder every day. So, yeah, that guy is a pussy. Wouldn't know real work if it hit him in the face, but likes getting it in the face, says Nick. Now, I'm just saying, I'm not here to pretend like my job's physically harder than yours in the slightest. These are real jobs that you're LARPing as somebody who wants to go out there and do construction. I would do it for free. I don't know what these guys are whining about. My job is a very wealthy MMA fighter.
All right, be at this address. I have some free stuff you can do.
Yeah, yeah, right. Endless work that you could do if you like this so much. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the hot sheet.
Check the hot sheet. It's news, but not like real important news.
Best investigative reporting on the planet.
The top stories from the people on your screens and speakers are on the hot sheet with C-Lane.
That's right. The hot sheet brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. I'll look at the nonsense news about the people on your televisions, the people that you listen to, the people that we've elevated a little bit. And the big story, the big thing that we've heard about forever, and it is not about the Met Gala, is that the trial or the lawsuit between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has hit a settlement. They've settled. That thing is over. Dunsville.
This is so crazy to me, C-Lane. These people, I don't think I'm wrong on this, but Moses might steer me straight if I am. I believe they spent millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Well,
I think they spent millions of dollars. They fought each other, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. They both went at each other's throats. And then after this, at the final moment, they just made a deal and put out some lame statement.
Yeah, no apologies. Sources with knowledge tell TMZ there was a lot of behind-the-scenes drama in the Lively camp in the days before the settlement was reached. She brought in a new law firm, Sussman Godfrey, the law firm. The firm is a litigation powerhouse, and they thought they would be bringing in the firm to litigate the case, but the opposite happened. The settlement did not even include an apology from Justin, or as one commenter commented out, or pointed out, there was also no apology from Blake. However, they say no money exchanged hands between the two of them. The only people that made out like bandits were the lawyers. The lawyers on both sides made millions from the protracted case. TMZ predicted a settlement because if they had gone to trial, they would have been, quote, grilled like cheeseburgers on cross-examination, and it could have been the end of their careers, unquote.
I just don't get it. I mean, they dropped almost all of the charges, accusations, whatever, about sexual harassment. The judge dismissed all of the sexual harassment parts of this Blake Lively lawsuit, and there was just a couple of things left. And then it wasn't just that Justin Baldoni made a deal after all of this. It was that the statement that they released was so weak. It was something like, we really are proud of the work we did on this movie about domestic violence. And like, you guys hated each other. You spent years of your life doing this. What the hell?
And kind of ruining your, some reputations. Like,
big time.
There's like a lot of people who just don't care for Blake Lively anymore because of this whole thing.
Right.
And it's a little bit happening to her husband because he's, just by connection to her, there's some Ryan Reynolds haters out there. Not as much, but it's happening. One person that is going to trial. The other one didn't. This person is going to trial. And I don't know if I just straight up didn't know that this was an issue or had forgotten about it. But Steven Tyler is actually going to trial following child sex assault claims. Steven Tyler, of course, of Aerosmith. The singer is accused of grooming, sexually assaulting, and impregnating a 16-year-old girl in the 1970s. The suit was first filed in 2022, and Torrance claims he used his role, status, and power as a well-known musician and rock star to exploit the young girl.
50 years ago, damn.
You know what's crazy? And I think we just talked about this with Anthony Kiedis or something.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
But maybe we should be looking through some of these memoirs. Maybe just like load a bunch of them into ChatGPT and say, hey, does this person admit to anything illegal in here?
Oh, did he do that?
The complaint argues that Tyler admitted to the alleged crimes in his own memoir titled Does the Noise in My Head Bother You?, where he refers to her as his teen bride. According to the complaint, he described the nature of the relationship in the 2011 memoir, writing, she was 16, she knew how to nasty. With my bad self being 26, and she barely old enough to drive and sexy as hell, I just madly fell in love with her.
Is this criminal or civil, the trial that they're doing? Is it like a civil suit thing?
Let's see. Earlier this week, a judge dismissed much of the case, citing the statute of limitations in Massachusetts, where the pair lived during their 3-year relationship. But they allegedly crossed state lines while Tyler toured the country with his band, including California. But because of California's Child Victims Act that allowed a look-back window, a portion of the case will still be tried. That sounds like it could be criminal, but I don't know.
It does. Yeah, that sounds like a criminal case.
Even they said that the parts of the trial that were dropped were a massive win for Steven Tyler. The court dismissed with prejudice 99.9% of the claims in this case. He went on to talk about her in the memoir. I was so in love, I almost took a teen bride. I went and I slept at her parents' house for a couple nights, and her parents fell in love with me and signed over papers for me to have custody so I wouldn't get arrested if I took her out of state. I took her on tour with me.
Jesus, man.
So
the parents that would do that, I don't.
I mean, I would think that if her parents were still alive, they would have some questions to answer as well. It doesn't say whether or not they are. Over to Britney Spears, who has accepted a plea deal in her DUI case. They're calling it was what lawyers call a wet reckless. Through her attorney, Michael Goldstein, after the March arrest, she was sentenced to the 12 months probation, a fine, a DUI program, and ongoing mental health treatment. And I think it's like one of those deals where if she breaks the law again, she could face jail time.
Wow.
So if
she made a deal, but the deal wasn't for an actual DUI, you said.
She pled guilty to a wet reckless through her attorney. With jail time credited as served, Britney has accepted responsibility for her conduct, said in a statement. adding that she is making significant steps to implement positive change. She took responsibility at the earliest stage, and they emphasized, we do not want Miss Spears to reoffend. She had voluntarily entered the treatment before the hearing. But I think I read that it's one of those deals where, like, hey, she has a whole year where if she reoffends, like, she could seriously go straight to jail. Like, Britney Spears could do some time, so which would be super odd to think of. The Devil Wears Prada 2 has been doing well in the box office, and there's a part of the movie that I guess people have assumed was made by AI, and I sent you a link to this.
Okay.
There's a meme. I don't know anything about the story of the movie, but there's a meme that calls the main character, played by Meryl Streep, Miranda Priestley, a liar, right? And it looks like something that somebody would have created with AI, especially if you zoom in and the stuff on the menu behind her. It shows her, Meryl Streep, working at a fast food restaurant, and it says, would you like some lies with that? And the blurry stuff in the background kind of looks like AI. This is posted on Instagram by the person who painted this. Go one over. This person painted this from scratch and just wanted it to look like AI. These videos always make me feel like I don't have a creative bone in my body. When I watch people paint stuff like this from scratch, it's ridiculous. Well, it's a time lapse of everything that she did on like her iPad or whatever computer she used to make this meme looking thing.
It's crazy.
In an email to NBC News, the artist explained she aimed for a cheap plastic look inspired by 2010's meme culture. Not AI, though. She admitted technically I was trying to make it look artificial, which begs the question, why didn't you just use AI?
Yeah, because you'd get...
Seems like it would have been easier.
You do this and you have something that looks like fake AI, and everybody's like, amazing, so good, so good. If you use real AI to get the same outcome, people are like, yeah, can't take it.
Last up on the hot sheet, the big news in the entertainment world was the Met Gala. And, were you there, were you not there? And one person who got called out for attending wasn't because of anything Bezos related, but it was because of where he wasn't, not where he was. Diehard fan of the New York Knicks, Ben Stiller, lost a little street cred, they said, when he attended the 2026 Met Gala instead of the Knicks playoff game. Game 1. It says if Ben Stiller picked the Met Gala, this is Dave Portnoy talking, if he picks the Met Gala over Game 1 of the Knicks, he may have to turn in his man card. Well, he did so, despite telling Entertainment Tonight, my heart is still in Madison Square Garden. Hey, since it's a bit of a holiday today, we're going to do a quick roundup to finish off. I like to do these when holidays come around because there's been so many TV shows, movies, and stuff that we have fallen in love with over the years. Every one of them has a couple holiday episodes in their repertoire. So if you are trying to get in the mood to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, maybe you're staying in, or maybe you need something to put on the TV while you're pre-gaming, these are some episodes of TV shows that are popular that have Cinco de Mayo tie-ins. There is Amigos on Arrested Development, where you can see the Bluth family do the infamous chicken dances and get tackled for it in Mexico. This is one you probably know, King of the Hill's Lupe's Revenge, where they take a field trip to Mexico and Peggy Hill literally kidnaps a small Spanish girl named Lupe and gets arrested for it when she drives her back to Mexico. Monk has Mr. Monk Goes to Mexico. If you'd like to actually learn something about real Mexican culture, well, you can watch the movie Frida, which is available on Apple TV, Prime Video, YouTube for about $4. It's the story of the iconic Mexican painter Frida Kahlo, which traces her life from the accident that caused lifelong health problems for the painter through her death at 47. Or if you just want some good, plain, old American appropriation, Three Amigos is free on YouTube. You can watch that with ads for free $99, $3.00. The hot sheet is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. Hey, mortgage rates are pretty low. In fact, they are nearing 3-year lows. And if your mortgage has a 7 or 8 in front of it, you should be checking into a refi immediately. And Don will help you out because he is the man that demystifies the mortgage business. Call him today or go to his website, thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Quick break, and when we come back, an update to a shocking blind item we talked about on the show. You're not going to believe this. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
30 35 years of weird. The Orlando Fringe Festival, May 12th through the 25th. All the info at orlandofringe.org.
Try and avoid eastbound on Osceola Parkway at Old Dixie Highway. All lanes are blocked there. Use Town Center Boulevard or US 192 as an alternate route. On the major roadways, not much to worry about. Just tip.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes. Welcome behind the scenes. Somebody said that sounds like one of Britney Spears' songs, which I was like, you know what? Yeah, it does.
CountyMetals.com. This beautiful real lady is brought to you. Alright, I'm gonna put you up because I interrupted you.
Okay.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your
Nightmare neighbor on the way. Stand by for that.
Exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double.
How are you today? Hope you're good. Hope all is well.
From there, they handle the repairs on your old home so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar.
I did want to say something here, just briefly, if we can. And I don't mean to ignore you, YouTube or Twitch. I love YouTube and Twitch. In fact, it's a Share the Show Tuesday. YouTube, hit that like button if you don't mind. Just take 1 second, hit that like button, and spread the word a little bit on a Share the Show Tuesday. Hit that like button on the stream. So I'm not trying to ignore you. But I have received word about someone who we shall call the serial complainer. All right? I don't want to make a big deal out of this, but it is somebody who's been referred to as the serial complainer on TNJ chat. This person has referred to the blackjack dealers as bitches. This person has used the word not fair after losing various hands in blackjack on TNJ chat many times. And overall, this person, the serial complainer, has been just outwardly complaining about their inability to win hands of blackjack in TNJ chat. We don't need to say the person's name. We don't necessarily need to say that out loud. But I want to apologize that some of you have been subjected to this over on this platform I care so much about. All right? The serial complainer who has a 4-letter username, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Please do not call the dealers bitches. Please don't say any of that stuff. All right? Do not, I don't want to hear it. My son shared your show. It's his friend at work in Tennessee. He now loves the show as well. Nice! Thank you. Big shout out to you on a Share the Show Tuesday. Does this person have more points than I do in TNJ chat? That doesn't matter. That's not relevant. It's not relevant. It's not. The person is a serial complainer. It's not underlying jealousy. Do not say it's underlying jealousy. I have no personal vendetta against whoever this user is. That's it. I'm vague booking too much. Now we know. Hey Charles, hey Tanya, hey Kurt, hey Venezuela, hey Bootsy, hey everybody. Hey R. Willie.
Does Florida care about AIDS? Somewhere in the state tonight, a mother is rationing the pills that keep her alive. On June 30th, she and 12...
The person has been known to frequent boy holes. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. I don't know what to do with that information, but I've heard it. 1 minute, we're coming back.
This isn't a budget problem. It's a choice. Go to ahf.org/ABAP. 1 minute could save thousands of lives.
An update on that blind item that suggested from Crazy Days and Nights, a site that is usually pretty accurate. They said Ghislaine Maxwell is going to be pardoned. I think they even gave the weekend, and that she was going to be fleeing the country afterwards. I have an update on it. I still find this incredibly hard to believe, and would be a boneheaded decision if the Trump administration somehow did that. I don't think they will, but we'll see. I got an update. Here we go.
So glad I did. Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM, HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, RICH. R-I-C-H. Rich. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. And don't forget to answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Your front row seat to the most viral stories in the world. This is
Welcome to everybody who's new to this show. Maybe you just stumbled upon this show. You're flipping around the dial. You're trying to find something to listen to in this lovely city of yours. It's so good to have new listeners on board all the time. And I tell you, like I tell everybody else, you never know what's going to happen around here. We're always focused on whatever's viral. So you're going to hear things here and you'll hear it everywhere else, literally weeks afterwards. That's why you take some time and we're going to hang out with you and keep you company each day and have some fun, even on a Cinco de Mayo, just like today. We talked the other day about this blind item. Now, let me set the stage here very quickly if I can. All right? I want to set the stage quickly. This is from a website called Crazy Days and Nights. The website is a blind item website run by an attorney. A blind item website means they go, this rapper who goes by a 2-letter name from Chicago was seen in town flirting with a waitress at Hooters, right? And then you have to sort of deduct from that the blind item. What really happened? Oh, Kanye was seen with a waitress at Hooters flirting. And you have to guess in the comments and stuff. And every once in a while, they do a blind item reveal. And one of them that I read on the show, which I was just I thought it was crazy. I thought there's no way this is going to happen. Celine, can you bring up the original one? This might be hard to find. Maybe just search for
I can search for it.
Search for Ghislaine Maxwell or something, because I want to get the actual text of the original one in there. It was a blind item. Again, this is the website that's been accurate a lot of times before everybody else on matters of U.S. politics, on Hollywood, Charlie Sheen having HIV, way before anybody else reported it was a blind item on this website, and people thought they were crazy when they posted it. Now, I thought this was crazy because the thing read, and the blind item said, hey, on this exact weekend, Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's partner in crime, the only person behind bars for all this Epstein nonsense, that person is going to be pardoned in this weekend news blackout. And also after their pardon, Ghislaine Maxwell is going to be kind of pushed to flee the country and get the hell out of here. And I thought, wow, this would be so dumb. They can't possibly want to do this.
It says this was Friday, April 17th. Blind item. It will happen late at night on a Friday. The word is it will be Memorial Day weekend. that the madam/procurer will be pardoned and released from jail. The deal is that she will leave the country and go into hiding.
All right. So that's pretty specific. That's pretty darn specific that they're saying this person, it's clear they're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, they posted that as a blind item, and then when we talked about it, I think he posted it under blind item revealed and said that like you would need to reveal that. I'm pretty sure I could read that and not need you to lead me to Ghislaine Maxwell. I would get there on my own.
I still don't necessarily think this is going to happen, but it could. I mean, you never know. You could. The update I have here, though, and somebody sent this along in TNJ chat yesterday from Crazy Days and Nights. The update is, let me zoom in because this is such an old school website. Blind item number 11. Not that long ago, I wrote in this space about the madam/procurer being pardoned on the Friday prior to Memorial Day weekend. Now, that is being amplified on a Reddit page that she used to moderate. One wonders if she has a new user handle and is being a mod again. So the allegation here from this same website, and don't think they're just throwing stuff out there. It's a legitimate website. They have really, really, really good sources here. So this stuff usually comes from some place, and they're right more often than they're wrong. I don't know if you could bet on this. Somebody says, Polly Market, here I come. I don't know if they have a Ghislaine Maxwell pardon bet. I wouldn't be surprised. See if you can find that, Sealand. Polly Market, Ghislaine Maxwell. Maybe there is a pardon bet. But this says the Friday prior to Memorial Weekend. Now it's being amplified on a Reddit page that she used to moderate. One wonders if she has a new user handle and is being a mod again. So they're saying that like Ghislaine Maxwell is behind bars. She's now posting online. She's getting geared up. They're about to pardon her the Friday prior to Memorial Weekend. Then the deal is going to be that she flees the country. And I thought only person that's going to pardon her is going to be the Trump administration. I don't think Trump would do this. My gut on him is usually pretty decent. So I had somebody ask me the other day, not the other day, a month or two ago. Somebody asked me, hey, Sean, just was curious. Do you think that Trump is going to bail out Spirit Airlines? And I said, no, I don't think so. I don't think that would do well with his base. I don't think there's a big appetite for people bailing out these companies, especially like Spirit Airlines. I think it's just going to fail. And fail it did. I was right about that. My gut was correct on that. My gut's right about a lot of these things. My gut tells me this would be such a stupid move. Now, I wouldn't put it past any politician to make a stupid move, but it would be such a dumb move that is legitimately equally hated by those on the left and the right that no one would be stupid enough to make this move. To take the only person held responsible for what happened with Jeffrey Epstein and these girls that were victimized in this masseuse sexual abuse ring that he was putting together. That would be really, 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 really stupid. But they're continuing to push this. Are they betting on it, Sealand, or no?
Yeah, it's the bet on Polly Market is it's a little more broad than Memorial Day. It says, will Trump pardon Ghislaine Maxwell by end of 2026? And it had like it has peaked at about a 20. This website's a little annoying. 25% chance or something. All right, and that was around September of last year. Yeah, it's been up here for a while. However, the chance has been really low. At April 18th,
that's when it popped up.
It was 7% chance. There was a 7% chance that this might happen. And I think some of these rumors have been moving the needle around because now it went up to briefly on April 24th. When did they reveal the blind item? That this might be the spike right here.
You just told me it was April something.
You spiked up to 20. Well, April 7th was the initial blind item, but then they revealed it later.
Yeah. Well,
that's when we talked about it.
But it was pretty obvious when they revealed it. Like, hey, we know what they're doing. Somebody says April 17th, updated on April 29th, and then again on May 4th. So, and for all intents and purposes, this could be. Legitimately, this could be somebody trying to push up the prediction markets. I don't know. I say it's not going to happen, but I wanted to throw it out there just in case it does. because that would be a wild move. And I don't think many people will be in support on that.
Right now, if you bet, if you buy in for $1,000 for a yes, you stand to win $3,600.
People are betting real money on this stuff, which is crazy. Big Doug Millionaire says 0% chance on Polymarket that Sean accepts Trump as a pedo when he pardons Maxwell. Those things are not connected, number one. If you think Trump is a pedophile, your mind is melted. I don't believe most of you actually believe that. I think you just see these things and you're like, it's going to piss him off, so it makes me feel good, so I'm going to say it. I don't think you legitimately believe it, most people. I think you're just saying that stuff. And I'll say, like I say about everything else, there's plenty of stuff to be legitimately mad about. We don't have to write fanfic and completely make up things, because that's what's happening with that. I just think it would be a really dumb move. It would piss off people on his side and people on the other side. Like, you're just going to piss off everybody. It's stupid. It's literally the worst strategy you could ever employ in your life. So, I don't know. Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Megan sends an email, says, did you guys see this? A third sloth has now died. We heard about the second, what was it? What was the
No, this one's dumpling. Yeah, dumpling.
The third dumpling hitting the World Trade Center tower. We did hear about this. Yeah, the third sloth, unfortunately, that passed away. Not as a result of any sort of impropriety from the Central Florida Zoo, of course. They're just trying to bring these things back that are in really bad shape. So they do keep dying, unfortunately. Thank you to Beware for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, Beware. You can go subscribe to secret shows with those, courtesy of Beware, over on thenewsjunkie.com. On the homepage, and it says free gift subscriptions available. Claim now. If I click that, I see 5 available, courtesy of Beware 211. So go claim those right now. Get your access to secret shows, courtesy of Beware 211. I'll put you up on the leaderboard for gifted subs in a moment. Thanks for spreading the word and supporting the show. I appreciate that so much. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, I have one of these neighbor from hell stories. This guy's naked. He's terrorizing everybody. And you got to hear what the neighbors are saying. It's an unbelievable story. We'll have some fun with this one. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
What do you mean there's nothing going on?
Lo siento, señor. No es.
We planned our whole vacation to Mexico.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes. Welcome behind the scenes. When a woman at the Cushy Penitentiary said Maxwell shouldn't be there because of her heinous crimes and it was against protocol, she was sent to a worse prison. Who? The woman who was ratting her out, or Ghislaine Maxwell was sent to a worse prison? I can't tell from your comment. Who was sent to a worse prison? Oh, let me add this to the leaderboard. Hang on. Stand by. Here we go.
You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds.
Okay.
Installation is easy, and we guarantee they'll fit. Blinds for $1.
What was his name? Excuse me. Beware 211. Is this the first one from Beware? Whoa. Okay. B-Ware 211. Oh, no, that's the second one. Beware 211. 5 gifted subs. Boom! Thank you to Beware 211 for the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate it. Those are gone. And they're gone. And they're gone.
Avoid the headaches of a traditional home sale and move on your timeline with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Jack. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's Mark Spain.
The woman ratting her out was sent to a worse prison? That's screwed up. I mean, just like the story earlier where the guy who was trying to kill people at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, with the judge apologizing to her, I don't want Ghislaine Maxwell in some cushy prison. I saw a time-lapse video of Ghislaine Maxwell pacing her prison cell. Like this. Pacing her prison cell. And it was like countless hours of Ghislaine Maxwell trying to get 10,000 steps in her prison cell like this over and over and over again. And somebody goes, "This is torturous. How could you do this?" And I go, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is the woman who manipulated teenage girls to go in and massage a creepy old billionaire and give him sexual favors? Is she in a cell that's too small for your liking? Fuck her!"
Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first.
They gave her a puppy too? Is that true?
Showings, no double moves. Then
Yeah, I mean, there should be like
from there, they handle
the accommodations that we all agree on, the treatment that we all agree on that's appropriate for prisoners. They shouldn't be abusing them and beating them and stuff. Torturing them is out of line. But I don't care if Ghislaine Maxwell's uncomfortable. I certainly don't want her freed, I'll tell you that.
Visit orchard.com to get your free home valuation.
Exclamation point podcast. That's what launches the podcast over in TNJ chat. You can listen at any time, earn points. Gamble away with them. Trump might shut down South Park? Where on earth are you getting that from? Did I miss a news alert on the South Park front? 90 seconds. She got a damn puppy, F that. I just saw somebody else post that. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it might be. What she did to those children was inhumane? Sure. What are the odds on Kalshi that he shuts down South Park? They should be near zero. Can I say it? I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. South Park fell off hard. All right, they can bring it back. They can revive what made South Park great. But the last handful of South Park episodes I watched were yawn city, man. I expect so much more out of that. I know it's just a cartoon, but it's a fun one. All right, we're coming back. Last season was kind of dissatisfying. Yeah. Make South Park great again.
10 days, I'd put on 10 pounds. I was having trouble stopping the muscle growth.
Search Superhuman on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, RICH. R-I-C-H. Rich. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. And don't forget to answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
On the bright side, we're not dead yet. You're listening to the news.
For you. You're going to hear what this guy's doing to these neighbors, terrorizing them. And we'll get to that momentarily. Learn more about the show. It's a Share the Show Tuesday on Cinco de Mayo. You can go to thenewsjunkie.com. C-Lane, who's the weird person in your neighborhood?
I don't have any weird people in my neighborhood.
That's what the weirdest person in the neighborhood says right there. That's it. If
no,
you
I'm not
can't
saying the
tell
weird
me,
person in my neighborhood.
If you can't, all you have to do is tell me like what the person does, what their thing is, because everybody knows the weird person in their neighborhood. And if they don't, you're the weird person in the neighborhood. That's it. It's one of the biggest secrets of living around other people If you can't think of it right now, you're like, well, who is the weird person? That's you. You heard C-Lane figure it out in real time that he is the weird person in his neighborhood.
I mean, I don't do enough stuff to be weird.
Like, why is that guy in the middle of a hurricane jumping into his pool right now?
Nobody would even see me.
What's going on with that guy over there? What's happening with him?
I do have a neighbor that I've never met that their outdoor patio is covered in like frat bro-ish flags and posters. Like one of them says, "Welcome to the S Show."
Yeah, I've seen
and one
that.
of them says, "Several bad decisions later." It looks when I first saw it, I thought they had put up all these weird flags because, and it's like around their pool, it's around their screened-in patio. They're all over the place, right? And I thought they were having like a fantasy football draft party, and they were just putting up all the fun stuff for their teams and whatever. And then they just never went away. And I think it's been well over a year since. And so
that's the party house right there.
Well, no, that's the thing. We somehow now somewhat ironically refer to that house as the S Show house. But we haven't seen a single S Show. There's been no parties. There's been no nothing. I'm like, I don't know what is going on here.
Is it possible they're all dead inside the house and have been for
Somebody's
some extended
paying
period of
rent.
time? Something's happening over there. I know our friend Josh Fowler has,
I mean, he kind of takes the cake with weird neighbors.
He's got a neighbor
on
of
account
note.
of Pallet Man.
Yeah, we've talked about on Secret Shows, the Pallet Man Chronicles, about one of Josh's neighbors. And a lot of people have these types of people in their life. And we'll take your stories about that if you want to send them our way. But this one, I don't know if you could beat it. This is next level here. And they say the people in this neighborhood are on edge because there's a man who is terrorizing them, like legitimately terrorizing them. Let me see if I can play the story here to give you the details from KTLA. Here we go.
Their neighbor who is putting their safety and quality of life at risk. The man lives on the 7700 block of Garden Grove Avenue. His neighbors tell us that he often exposes himself from a bedroom window in view of children.
All right, he's up in the bedroom window. He's got the window fully open, which, as we all know, you're ruining the seal. You've opened the window to the world. You're ruining the seal that you had on that house. He's throwing caution to the wind and doing that. And he's completely naked up in the window. And I guess he exposes himself to everybody in this area. He's terrorizing them.
And that he's repeatedly made threats over the years. Neighbors say they've reached out to police and city officials for help.
It gets worse. Listen to this.
The guy goes off sometimes 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
And by that, what do you mean?
He's screaming. He's hanging out in the window, naked, shaking his penis at everybody.
He's like, I did it. I said it on the news. They told me I couldn't do it, but this guy is up in the window, he said. You heard the man. I'll bring it back just in case you missed his description of what this guy has been doing. He's up there in the window. He's terrorizing everybody.
Until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
And by that, what do you mean?
He's screaming. He's hanging out in the window, naked, shaking his penis at everybody. Everybody here is terrorized about this guy. He laughs. The cops come. We've heard they had over 200 calls. He has no power in the house. So he sets fires to the property inside. That's how he gets warmth and light.
Oh, great. Okay. So you mean the guy who's living in this house, exposing himself repeatedly to everybody in the neighborhood.
Well, because he's burned all his clothes for warmth.
He has no power going to the house, and he's burning things inside the house to keep him warm?
I don't even know you can burn stuff inside your house if you have a fireplace, sure. But as far as not having power, is there not some sort of regulation that kind of says you have to have power?
Yeah, there should be. That's a tough one because I don't want people to be forced into purchases, especially when with your power company, you have such a limited marketplace. You basically have just one choice. Here you go. Get it or don't get it.
I think even like the people who have full-on whole home solar systems with battery backups, that don't need the power company on a regular basis or most of the time at all, still have some sort of requirement to be hooked into the power grid and have some sort of active service. I think I might be wrong on this.
Do you think it should be illegal, though, if you have no power going to your house? Like, should there be something about that?
I'm kind of with you. I don't think you should be forced into paying for stuff and not have the choice. But, I mean, we do that anyway with, like, utilities. There's no alternate. Can you opt out of garbage pickup?
I don't know. I'm not sure if you can. Sometimes you're forced into some levels of
you can't
commerce.
opt out of taxes. So there's that.
No, I like even just for the fact that the guy's up in his window and he's waving his genitalia around. There's kids in the neighborhood, for God's sake. Which, by the way, is always a thing we say. There's kids in the neighborhood. Who cares if there's kids in the neighborhood? Shouldn't be doing it anyways. Even if it's all adults in the neighborhood, I wouldn't want that to be happening. What do you do about somebody like this? I'll tell you. Oh, God, I don't know how this is going to come off. But I'll tell you, there are things like this that would make me want to seek revenge. I'm not a vengeful guy. I'm legitimately a nice human being who wants the best for everybody else. If you pick that up, you pick that up. If you don't, you don't. I'm not here to convince you any further than that.
What would your revenge be?
I would want to take this guy out. If he was my neighbor, I got kids hanging out, and this guy's evil laughing, and this guy's exposing his genitalia out the window, and this guy's threatening everybody in the neighborhood, and I call the cops 200 times, and he's setting fires in his house in the middle of the night like the Joker or something, I would want to take little revenge on the guy.
What's the revenge?
I would want to kill the guy,
okay.
C-Len.
Jesus.
All right?
All right.
To make things as clear as possible, I would want to take the guy out because nobody else is doing what, like, the obvious thing is take him and go put him in a cell somewhere. Go take him off. You know, you take the dog and bring it to the farm. Take him to the farm. Where's the farm? Take him off to the farm so he doesn't bother anybody for the rest of his life. Bring him out there into that existence. Tell me, folks, be honest with me.
Can you walk around naked in jail?
I don't know. And I'm not going to find out. I am not going to investigate this any further than this here.
Send us a dispatch. Come on.
No. Actually, you can't. I don't know if you could be a nudist behind bars. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. But tell me, you guys, if this was your neighbor, you wouldn't start thinking about killing him. Be real. If this was your neighborhood and your kids are out there and this kind of stuff is happening, you wouldn't start thinking, like, who cares if this guy dies?
See, I wouldn't go straight for murder or any sort of situation where he ends up dead. I would, however, start to go, all right, what is a way? And it's tough because when a guy is like, crazy like this, it's a lot harder of a job to annoy him. It's easy for him to annoy you.
That's true.
But it's like, what can I do legally to just like really make this guy's life a little bit harder?
E-Fresh on TNJ chat says, throw Chick-fil-A packets on his roof and then scare him when he's removing them, making him fall. This man is not taking off anything off his roof. He's not doing any kind of work if you try to inconvenience him. He's not doing any of those things. Dan says, I'd start flipping through the Anarchist Cookbook. I'm just saying, it's okay to want revenge sometimes. Like, there are people who could be so obnoxious to you in your life and cause a bunch of issues for you that you want to take it into your own hands. This, like this happens sometimes. Brian says, well, jokes aside, I think he needs access to mental health resources. Probably. He's probably also strung out on drugs all day long, right? Usually something like that happening here. And the system isn't doing anything about it because they still don't do anything about this. But what I'm saying is, every once in a while, you got to be Daniel Penny. Okay? Every once in a while, the system won't protect us. The cops won't protect us. Nobody else will do it. And so somebody's got to step up. Every once in a while, someone's got to do the thing. All right? And if your crazy neighbor exposing himself is the target, well, there are worse targets. It happens. Let's see what else they say about this fine gentleman here.
Documentation provided to KTLA shows the homeowner has been cited for various violations within the last year. Charges include use of land for unzoned purposes, unlawfully altering the interior of a building.
Pause. You seeing what I'm seeing? That fourth charge, unlawful erect.
It's different. That's different. It says altering building without a license.
I think there's an unlawful erection in there somewhere.
I think whether you're flaccid or excited, I think the charge is the same. But maybe I'm wrong about that. He's got a whole bunch of these. This is just from one particular judgment, 79797979 This guy's a nightmare.
Having electrical wires without compliance. The paperwork also shows the man pleaded not guilty to at least one of those complaints.
Okay, so he's saying pleaded not guilty. Here's your neighbor. Congratulations.
I think it said on one of those documents that his balance was like $4,100. I don't know that they're going to see that money.
No, the guy lives in a house with no power. He's lighting fires inside. Abraham says, what is the system supposed to do? We don't have those type of facilities. I will say the same thing 1,000,000 times over. They 1,000% take not only enough of our money and taxes already to do all this and more, but they are fully capable of creating facilities where they take people in an inpatient manner, and when they are outside acting erratically like this, when they are torturing other people and harassing other people, you take them in, you bring them to these facilities, you can call them asylums, you can call it Smileyville, I don't care what you call it, but stop letting people ruin everything for everybody else. Stop letting them do it.
I don't know about calling it Smileyville. I think that would attract people. They're like, I want to go to Smileyville. Then you show up at Smileyville and everybody's crazy.
Until they do. What was the
Why
story?
Why did I go to Smileyville?
Hold on. What was the story about Oakland recidivists? I don't know if I can bring this up or not. There was a story recently about Oakland, California, right across the bay from San Francisco. And the story was, Oakland's problem analysis. They looked at this over a course of a couple of years, and they found out that here's what they found out. Oakland has a population of about 500,000 people. All right? 500,000 people. They found out that almost all of the crimes come from 50 violent groups or gangs in Oakland, California, with an active membership of about 1,000 to 1,200 people. This is 0.3% of the population, and they are responsible for 85% of the city's homicides. So to make it clear, in Oakland, California, about 1,000 people out of 500,000 are responsible for 85% of the murders that occur in the city, and I'm very sure probably a very large portion of the other violence and crime that happens in this very same city. This is not even a theory anymore. There's a small percentage of people who are ruining things for everybody else. This guy's ruining it for his whole neighborhood. And I ask of you, be honest with me. What would you be willing to do if that happened next to you? Let us know. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. When we come back, jury duty queued up and on the way. Also, some other stories that I might work in. We'll see. We'll see. I can't say much about it. Can't say much about it right now. But we'll lead off jury duty with updates on that JPMorgan sex lawsuit. More details rolling in. If you hadn't heard about this, I'll get you all caught up. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
Hello.
Uh-oh. Okay, a new video coming in. All right, I'll address this when we come back.
So why would you operate a boat?
Interesting new video.
Wants to remind you that operating a boat while impaired
Poop!
is just as deadly as driving the
In TNJ chat, poop. Says, where is the uncensored video? I'd like to see what we're working with. Unzips pants.
How many brokers does it take to ensure
Thank you, Pooh.
If you're like most business owners, the answer is way too many. Multiple
Thank you for that.
multiple applications, and no clear view of how it all fits together. And when questions come up,
Bootsy says the devil in me wants to do something chaotic.
changes that. One broker for
I mean, I've told the story multiple times about how my neighborhood has had the ultimate glow up. When I first bought this house, Courtney and I first bought this house, they had built 3 new killer houses on the street. The entire other side of the street was owned by this crazy old disabled couple. And this old man and this old woman, they hated each other. The cops would get called on them all the time. We drove down the street one time and saw them throwing stuff at each other in their wheelchairs. They were absolutely disastrous, this couple. But they owned all of the property for the entire length of the street that I'm on. So it was a disaster. All knockdowns. All teardowns. So eventually, not long after we moved in, that old man died. And the old woman died too. Within a week or something of each other. They both died. And then they gave the property, the houses, the land to their daughter. And the daughter was just going to keep everything how it was. And I was like, we're stuck for the rest of existence with this daughter keeping these piece of shit houses up. And then out of nowhere, the daughter died. She was young. Freak thing. Daughter dies. She leaves the whole side of the street to her husband. And her husband goes, I don't give a shit about any of this. And her husband sells the whole side of the street. Multiple developers come in, buy up all the land, build up big, beautiful houses, big, nice houses, and develop the whole street. Now, there are only 2 houses. They're together. It's only really one house. That's a catastrophe, bringing down the neighborhood. And I have legitimately thought about doing something to knock down the spooky house at the end of the street. But I can't do it and I won't do it, okay? I can't do it and I won't do it. I would like to, because from what I hear, there's some guy who's like a doctor, and he owns this property with it's 2 buildings on one property. They're both unbelievably unsafe, and no one lives there, and he's holding it as an asset. So he wants everybody to deal with this piece of shit house that we all have to look at and drive by instead of opening it up for some family. It's frustrating. All right? I know a guy that knows a guy? Let me go on the record saying I would never do anything and I don't want anybody to do anything. But man, oh man. This is why I've asked you guys before, if I just put if I get orange spray paint and I put X's on it, tear down, text the demolition company, I'll put demo. I'm like, yeah, here's the address. Give me the address. I'll say I've been squatting for 7 years. My boyfriend's a builder. We can fix it. Well, at least you don't have anybody flashing you for the windows. It's worse. I'd rather be flashed in a newer, nicer house. You buy knowing there are shit houses across the street and you're pissed because they still exist? No, the point is, you buy into a neighborhood that's reinvigorating itself and that's upgrading. Whole neighborhood is. And people squat on stuff that they're not occupying. I don't want people holding houses that nobody even gets to live in. And that's what was happening with these houses. Knock it down. Let somebody build something that's habitable, for God's sake. You know that's right, and I know that's right. We shouldn't have people holding houses for 30 or 40 years in dilapidated conditions so everybody else in the neighborhood has to look at it, and nobody can get to live in the house. That's not what houses are for. Houses are for people, families, not parking your money. Here we go.
Drinks, comedy, and of course live music. All on board a badass cruise ship. To win, just listen to this station on the iHeartRadio app.
Tap the contest tab and enter to win.
Learn more at slimecruise.com.
Winner must be 21 or older. Prize provided by Six Man Ltd.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime. One dime down at RC Hill Mitsubishi in DeLand. Just go to rchill.com.
Your direct line to the heroes that saved Canada that one time.
Too much. I said way too much during the break. Now you know what I've subject C-Lane to during Secret Shows days when I have his attention locked in on me over at this house. I've just had a rant, C-Lane.
What was it about? Was it about something that everybody's not going to care about?
No. No. Well, I mean, probably, but we were talking about this horrible neighbor, this guy in California he's got a lot of problems. He's naked. He's exposing himself to all the people and the kids in the neighborhood. He's freaking out all day and screaming stuff. And he doesn't have any power in his house. He lights little fires to burn stuff for light and heat inside the house. And it's just a nightmare. These people are over it. They've called the cops hundreds of times. Cops come out. They don't do anything. And I said, look, I have a house at the end of my street that I would very much love to go hog on, just to big bad wolf the house and huff and puff and blow the house down. Oh boy, would I love to do that. And somebody was like, oh, you bought a place on a street with a bunch of old properties and now you're mad that the properties look like crap? No. No, we have one house on the street that somebody owns. It's dilapidated. It's a shack. It's a tear down. It's a spooky, sore spot in the neighborhood for everybody, and potentially will draw in God knows what. And I say, here's one of those things I believe in that I think is just fundamentally true. Add this to the list of things I think most people agree with. I say houses are for people to live in. Houses are for families. Houses are for people to live in. Houses are for you to call your own, for you to have a place to park and enjoy yourself and enjoy your days. That's what a house is for. A house is not for somebody, and this is the case on my street and the person that I could go nuts on. A house is not for you to hold your investment in and have the entire neighborhood have to look at your house for like 30 or 40 years when it looks like it's about to be burned to the ground at any moment. I mean, it's really that bad. It's legitimately that bad. I'm not exaggerating here. A house is not for you to do that so that you can live in another neighborhood and go, I'm going to sit my money on this house and I'll sell it in 30 or 40 years or something. That's not what a house is for. Everybody knows it. You shouldn't be holding houses for simple investment opportunities down the street. Houses, if you want to have 2, 3, 4, 5 houses and you want to rent them out to other people and make a business out of that, go for it. That's totally fine. I'm a capitalist, baby. I'm a capitalist pig in my core. But the idea that you just go, well, I'm going to sit my money in this house. It looks terrible. It's a sore eye and a absolute blight on the neighborhood. And that's fine. I'm allowed to do that. No way, man. Not really for that myself. But you tell me how you feel about it. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Here we go. I got updates on the JPMorgan sex lawsuit. Let's do them. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Love Mo. He is fantastic. What a guy he is. And he's going to help you out. If you have a case, you've been in an accident, your loved one has been in an accident, somebody needs an attorney. It happens. In that moment, don't worry about all the billboards and people you've seen getting loud at you. Remember Moses DeWitt and justcallmo.com. He is going to guide you down the yellow brick road, the path to that big check that you deserve. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or justcallmo.com. Here we go. The alleged JPMorgan office sex slave is doubling down with new and explosive claims against
They're
the
getting
executive.
more creative.
Yeah. I mean, it was creative enough that Indian Woody thought that we were all going to believe that this executive lady was doing these things to him. But it turns out this guy is way more checkered than you would ever believe. This guy's past. At one point in time, he claimed a loved one died and took 3 months of time off to grieve, paid time that they offered if you had a shocking death in the family. And 100% this guy lied about it. He lied about a relative dying and took 3 months off of work. Now he continues his claims against this woman who wasn't even the boss that he was claiming she was, but he says was sexually harassing him, turned him into her personal sex slave, et cetera, et cetera. The former JPMorgan banker who claimed his boss turned him into her personal slave has doubled down on his claims. Radar Online is saying Chirayu Rana's lawsuit, which the company says is completely fabricated, has been refiled. They had to withdraw it and change it, and now it's got even more accusations in it. What are the accusations? On Monday of this week, Rana, who originally filed his lawsuit as John Doe before he was publicly outed, submitted a new complaint to the Manhattan Supreme Court. Among the new evidence was a statement from a witness who claims his boss, Lorna Hajini, 37, propositioned him for a drunken threesome. The new collaborator, who appears
Must
to be
have
a
been a
family
devil's
friend,
threesome. That's why he turned it down.
It was. The new collaborator, who appears to be a family friend of his, said he was staying at an apartment while visiting New York City. He was woken up by a drunk, naked Hajini, that's the executive at JPMorgan, the woman, the blonde woman, in the middle of the night. Hajini allegedly sat on the couch, lit a cigarette, and began begging the friend to join them in the bedroom, using the similar blackmail tactics that the guy says were used on him. He said this woman sat there on the couch, a couch she says she's never been on at a house she's never been to, and a neighborhood she's never even visited. And this testimony says that Hajini was also kissing on Indian Woody's neck on the street sometime in 2024 while getting handsy with him at a concert for Norwegian DJ Kygo?
I think Kygo.
Kygo at Barclays Center. It was all apparently enough to haunt this person, who said in the court papers he was diagnosed with PTSD, which he attributed to this. He got PTSD from a woman propositioning him for a threesome.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine? I know that there are people who went to Vietnam and they were getting shot at by the Vietnamese, the Viet Cong,
Charlie.
in the trees, the Charlie in the trees. I know they were dodging mustard gas that was dropped on them, and Agent Orange was blowing in the wind as they tried to clear the brush between North Vietnam, where the commies were, and South Vietnam, where they were holding things down. I know that those people shot and killed people. I know people were involved in the My Lai massacre. I know that people say that all sorts of terrible things happened in Vietnam. But could you imagine an attractive blonde executive at JPMorgan in your fancy high-paid job trying to get you to have a threesome with her? Can't even imagine. I can't even imagine the amount of actual PTSD that you would be dealing with in this case. But he says that's what happened to him. By June 2025, after being placed on involuntary leave, Rana said he was unable to sleep or eat, claiming he couldn't escape hearing the voice of his boss in his head, repeatedly just
couldn't
asking
escape
him.
the voice of my hot boss trying to get me to have a threesome.
So insane. Like, the details are so insane. A letter from his counselor, Jonathan Alpert, stated that he has been treated for symptoms consistent with PTSD related to workplace experience at issue in this case. So, yeah, JPMorgan continuing to say there is absolutely nothing to this. We investigated. There's no merit to these claims. This person is completely making these things up. And that's the latest round in this. He's got a friend who's helping him out in the bombshell sex case for JPMorgan. Good God.
There was, in the story I read yesterday, some more quotes that I hadn't seen before. Something about her like, they got into a car in the rain and she was like, I'm all wet, but basketball players make me wet, or something stupid like that. Like, there was a couple other ones, and I was like, this is it's getting interesting.
Courtney and I had a conversation about this. She's been doing audiobooks as of late, and Courtney and I were talking about how you know when a guy has written a sex scene or like fanfic stuff or like a romance novel. And the guy will say things like this guy says. She pulled out her breasts and grabbed them. And she said, your fish head Asian wife doesn't have absolute cannons like this, as she grabbed them. And everybody, especially everybody with 2X chromosomes, heard that and said 100% that is a man. As a man, a woman doesn't talk like that. A woman doesn't think about things like that. Courtney said, when you read a book, you can tell when a sex scene was written by a woman and when it was written by a man. Because a woman will talk about, she said specifically, the hair on your arms being on end, the hair standing up on your arms. And
there's a handful of things I want to say right now that I just need to avoid. Just need. Okay. Well,
the touch of the person and the fabric of clothing they were wearing and the way your toes were touching the ground and like all of these things.
Travis's quivering member.
Yes. And then a guy would be like, he pulled out his hog and she was grabbing on her cannons and she had milkers that were unbelievable. And that is the difference. This guy wrote this himself. It's fanfic. I don't buy it for a second. Back in a moment. We got to kick off the Power Hour. And there may or may not be airplane stories involved. We'll see. I know there's some bets on that. We'll see what happens. A lot more on the way on a Share the Show Tuesday. The Power Hour coming up next on the News Junkie.
It's back. The 2026 Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival, May 12th through the 25th in Lock Haven Park. Tickets available now at orlandofringe.org.
Looks like there's a crash where Orange Blossom Trail meets Land Street, causing all that commotion, where Florida's Turnpike and the Beach Line meet. There's a crash on the ramp from 401.
Hey! Grabbed onto her cannons. Courtney was so right about that. So right about that.
Sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort.
Then you could tell when it was written by Frank Herbert.
They make sleep easy.
Who's Frank Herbert? With words like beef swelling and girder shape of ecstasy?
At International Diamond Center, we're all about
I mean, to each their own.
plays a more important role in the life of any family than mom. She's the rock, the hero, the one that holds it all together. So we invite you to help us celebrate the mothers in our lives with the
Sweater meat hung like a well-made closet. Yeah, it's clear. It's clear when guys are dreaming up what they think makes women hot. Yes. Yes. In fact, I mean, I have half a mind to believe that many of the things that women might say to you, even in the bedroom, are things that they're saying because they know that you and your weirdo mind are into them to begin with. So guys really kind of, they really have a stranglehold on how these discussions go, and therefore a lot of guys think that that's how women think too. Which I am like Mel Gibson, and I can hear what women think, so I know these things. Case in point, D pics, men court with genitalia photos. True. There's an entire subreddit for these, men writing women. Is that what we said? Okay. Men writing women. Okay, men writing women. Let's see. George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones. She wanted to see if it would be as easy with a woman as it had always been with Robert. 10,000 children perished in my palm, Your Grace, she thought, slipping a third finger into myrrh. Whilst you snored, I would lick your sons off my face and fingers one by one. All those pale, sticky princes. You claimed your rights, my lord, but in the darkness I would eat your heirs. That's George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones, writing to women. I think that gets the point across. I got a Karen video on the way. We'll talk about what happened here. No, thank you, George. If I brought home a book with the word milkers in it, I'd throw it out the window, and I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you at all. Little pro tip, guys. 2 things you can do. One thing, you're always going to colognes. Give a little hint of a woman's like perfume to your cologne. Ladies actually like that scent more so. It's one little tip from me to you. The second little tip, read a whole bunch of those romance novels written by women for women. Read some of them. Read what those sex scenes are like, and then do that. Do that. You'll be smelling like perfume, and they'll just be falling over for you. One after another. You're welcome. Brandon says, Sean, where do you prefer us to stream the show? Wherever you want. Wherever you want. Ad-free if you're a secret show subscriber at thenewsjunkie.com. YouTube or Twitch, your preference. Coming back.
Favor. Call 800-444-2013. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-2013 or biglou.com. Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Fun. F-U-N. Fun. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
The biggest stories of the day in all their glory and insanity. You're listening to the news.
To share the show Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo 5th of May. That's what that means. And we're good. We're glad to have you on board. Learn more about the show at thenewsjunkie.com. Just peeking at the email, C-Lane. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. I don't need to read it all, but it's like, I totally agree with you on your thing about the doors and windows being properly sealed.
Why don't you need to read it all?
Sean just wanted to say, I've listened to the show for 10 years, and this is the most accurate take you've ever had. You have to make sure a door shuts the right way to make sure you get a proper seal. You shouldn't open your windows if they haven't been open in a long time. Keep that thing sealed. Keep a tight seal going. Thank you, wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
It seems like a weird way to word that.
Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Mandy says, Sean, you're such a genius. You're so right about this thing about keeping the doors and windows sealed. There is something to making sure the door is shut as much as it can be. Thank you so much for being the greatest person in the world. Wow, the greatest person in the world. And keep telling people about sealing the doors and windows.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see any of that here.
You're not looking at the same thing I am, clearly, because it's they're buried in here. There's a lot of emails coming in.
Sure.
It's buried in there somewhere. Let me get to a Karen who has arrived on the scene for the show today. This happened in an area that they call upscale Pacific Northwest neighborhood, and it's Spokane County. That's Washington, I believe.
Yeah.
Spokane County, Washington. They're calling her Ford Focus Karen. Here's the details. And for those of you on the stream, I'll play this and I'll describe it for everybody else. Shocking footage captured the moment a woman accelerated her Ford Focus down a sidewalk to chase a child on his dirt bike. Deputies with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office arrested Wendy Clemente, 56, for allegedly attempting to mow down the child while under the influence at the very end of April. Video released by authorities, filmed by a stunned witness, showed Clemente initially pointing her car at the boy and honking her horn repeatedly. A witness says this woman is crazy, and the Ford Focus swerved at the child on the sidewalk. So she was annoyed at the kid riding his dirt bike through a suburban neighborhood, which is annoying, all right? You're not supposed to get a dirt bike and go into the woods. That's where you go with the dirt bike.
One would
go
argue.
into the dirt. Yeah, that's right. Go into the dirt with your dirt bike. That's where you're supposed to go. Some people try to take these dirt bikes and drive them around these little neighborhoods and residential areas, and they shouldn't do it. But this lady goes a bit too far. Here's the video. Let's see what we can hear.
Oh, my God. Hell, this lady's crazy.
All right, first she's driving her Ford Focus down the street. She's honking at the kid riding his dirt bike around the neighborhood. Honking again. He's on the sidewalk on his dirt bike. She turns, and, she's going after him now. He's riding away. Karen turns her Ford Focus.
Is he honking too? Does he have the smaller horn?
Can you honk on a dirt bike? I'm trying to think of all the times I've been on a dirt bike.
Sure, some of them are honkable.
I don't remember a horn being on any kind of ATV, dirt bike, three-wheeler. They might have them, but I don't remember one being on there. So she's irritated. She's honking at this kid on the dirt bike. He's pissing her off. I get it. It could be annoying. You get pissed off. But now she drives after him right down the sidewalk, I guess.
She's trying to run. Oh, my God.
Okay, well.
Oh, she's going for it.
No kidding. Oh, my God.
I like how she yelled at the other woman. She goes, "What the F are you doing, lady?" I mean, what are you doing? You're the one driving your Ford Focus on a sidewalk. The hell are you thinking right now, for God's sake? That's a disaster. You see that?
I read it. I thought she was just going to turn towards the kid in the road. I didn't know she was going through people's yards and lawns to run this kid down on the sidewalk. But what a wild.
Yeah, that is weird. That's weird behavior. You see a lot of these people doing this. What happened to her? Let me go to the story here. Hang on. Sorry, I was having a mild issue with communicating with HQ, so I just had to relaunch stuff as I was blabbing. Anyhow, it's done. A witness said this woman is crazy as the Ford swerved at the child on the sidewalk, and the boy appeared to say something to the driver before she reversed and positioned her car at him. She then accelerated right down the sidewalk. Now, the dirt bike shouldn't be on the sidewalk, but your car shouldn't be on the sidewalk either. That is not something you should be doing.
Two wrongs. Yeah.
They don't make it right.
Say.
Yeah, you're right. Here's the freeze frame. Woman chasing him on the dirt bike down the sidewalk. Let me get this up for See It Now, folks, so you can see what happened here.
Oh, if I was this kid, I would make this my profile picture. I would 100% take advantage of this. How I outran Ford Focus Karen when she shouldn't have been running me down on the damn sidewalk.
Yeah, people sometimes take these things that make them mad. Like, it's okay if somebody's riding a dirt bike in your neighborhood to be annoyed by that, but it doesn't mean that you can go nuts. But I'm telling you, there's some of these Karen ladies
even
who, if they believe that they're morally in the right, like you've seen a lot with the ICE Karen things, if some of these women who do this think that they're morally in the right, they will go to amazing lengths. She's also drunk too, though, for the record.
Even if he were driving aggressively towards her, which I see people on bikes do, it's been a problem. We've played videos on the show of people riding aggressively towards cars or just riding aggressively in and around, weaving around pedestrians thinking they own the place.
Yeah.
And there was that one kid on the beach that just got knocked over. And it was like, hey, man, you're making people uncomfortable here. You're making people fear for their safety when you do that. If this kid was doing that, I still don't think her extreme measures were the right ones. But I would at least understand a little bit.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, look, I've been irritated by stuff too. I had this young girl in the neighborhood. She drives by me all the time when I'm out for a walk. And she flies down the road on her little dirt bike concoction moped. I don't know what it is. I'm convinced she's not supposed to be driving this thing on the road, right? And she's out there. She's hauling out, making all this noise. She's hauling ass driving this thing around the neighborhood. However, she also blares her music at full volume as she's cruising around. And it is because of this that I do not actually get angry at her. Because this girl listens to the best music. I have pulled 3 rejoins from this girl who drives around. I've found songs that she was listening to a song the other day. She's driving around. She's revving her motor. She's flying around on this thing. I'm like, here she comes again. Here she comes again. And she's listening to a song. It turned out to be Sink, Florida Sink, if you ever heard that song.
Oh, yeah.
Banger of a song, man, right?
In
Great.
fact, I think, I don't know if this is still the case because I think they switched things up, but one of your favorite weekend haunts had a cocktail on their menu named Sink, Florida Sink.
Did they? Okay, Events Against Me. Against Me is the band.
You cannot play it.
I don't think I can.
No.
I think there's a whole lot of curse words in the song. It's a very, very catchy song. And she, can I play a little bit of it? Let me see. I don't know. No, I think it's lots of F words in it, right? Yeah.
There's that one. Yeah.
So Sink, Florida Sink by Against Me was one of the songs that she's driving around listening to. And I go, damn, it's a little annoying that she drives around on that thing and she's blaring that music, but she listens to some badass songs. So
you want to kind of hate her, but also you're like, she has some decent selection at least.
She probably thinks I'm a creeper. See, like, every time she drives by, I pull my phone out, and I think that she might think I'm trying to, like, record her or take a picture. I'm bringing out Shazam on my phone to see the song that she's listening to.
All right.
And I'm like, I'll do, like, the, hey to my phone to activate it, and I'll try to get it to tell me what song she's listening to, because I only hear a chorus as she drives by. And somebody said the Mad Caddies have a great cover. Yeah. That's all I hear, and I'm like, what was that? Somebody says Mad Caddies. She was listening to another Mad Caddies song when she drove by the other day. I'm like, yes, haven't heard the Mad Caddies in so long. This is so good. And I just, I have to give her credit. So she did that. She's kind of like this Ford Focus Karen lady, but she got a real good taste in music, so I don't mind it so much. All right, quick break.
But yeah, Otto's High Dive had Sink, Florida Sink on their menu.
Did they?
It was the name of one of their cocktails.
Let me tell you something, man. They listen to the show over there. Let me tell you something. That place, you want to go get the best food you've had probably all year, that's the place you go to. Otto's High Dive. One of the best places in town. Unbelievable. Unbelievably good. Somebody's talking about squatters, so instead of taking a break, I'll go to their video dispatch. Here it is. Let's see. Hey.
You're talking about the squatters and the dilapidated places, so I had to run in my car. And we had some squatters that it took us 5 years to get Marion County to demolish the single wide that they were in.
Jesus.
And now they've moved to the back of our neighborhood. Get ready for this. They've got boats on the side of the road.
Oh, my God. Oh, cars trashed everywhere. What is the fence made out of? What is this even? It's like sticks.
Oh gosh, I didn't even see that it was held up by big like logs.
Yeah,
that probably just got chainsawed off of a tree.
It's a horrifically ugly homemade fence.
It looks like it's made of like that stuff you lay down to keep weeds out of your landscaping.
Yeah, it does actually. Yikes, man.
What an asshole.
I feel you. Thanks for the video dispatch on that one. I appreciate the extra work put in. Kevin, that gets you a star, my friend. There you go.
Yeah, he actually went for the drive-by just to get that documented to send to us. So kudos to you, sir.
Yeah, I like that. That's a little extra work and effort on your part, but I appreciate it. Let's see. What else can we work in here? Here's Dingo talking about we need HOAs. Oh, no.
What up, News Junkie? Dingo
no.
here. I just want to chime in real quick about that dilapidated house. I hate to say it because it goes against the fabric of my being that we should have HOAs, but that's a good case study for like why you would need somebody to kind of regulate your neighborhood.
True, but I would rather have the spooky house down the street and no HOA. So I'll stick with the no HOA. I just firmly believe.
You don't have an HOA?
No, not around here. No. And it's no problem other than this. I firmly believe that people shouldn't be able to just hold houses. Nobody is in them. They're not renting them out. The house needs to be demolished. It's an eyesore. It's bringing down the neighborhood. It's bringing down property values. It's bringing in crime, a busted windows theory, all of these things coming into play.
No seal there. Yeah.
No seal at all because the windows are blasted out. The door is wide open. The door to one of these houses is wide open. I was actually thinking about doing this, but I did not because I thought I might get in trouble. The front door to this place that's just such a catastrophe is wide open. And I was thinking about doing a cribs of the studio when it's like 100% complete. And I was going to pretend like I was going to have Courtney hold the camera. And I was going to be inside that spooky house with the door open. And I'd be like, hey, guys, thanks for coming by the studio. And then when you go inside the house, it would cut to inside of the studio. There's that little idea I was working on.
You thought you'd get hit for like trespassing or something?
I think they'll arrest me. because they know that.
How would they arrest you if nobody's there? It sounds like the kind of house that you used to like get your packages delivered to if you were buying stuff with a stolen credit card.
Yeah, 100%. I think people probably do that there. It's a house and then there's a shack behind it. The shack behind it is particularly bad. But if I showed it to all of you guys, you would all agree. And the place is just owned by this person who's a doctor or something. And all they're doing is going, oh, that's a property. I park my money there. Bro, go park your money in a mutual fund or like put it under the covers or invest in some art or I don't know. Just a house that you're not even going to use. Refurbish the house. Let a family live in the house. How about that? Refurbish the house. Improve the neighborhood. Do something. But people who just buy the house and leave it, I'm not for that. And I don't think most people are. I think most people would agree with me on this. Very quickly, Spirit Airlines is gone. Yep. We are back on a plane, unfortunately. I don't know what the bet's
What a shocker, what a surprise. It's a top story as long as it flies. This next clip is wild and insane. And as you might have guessed, we're back on a plane.
One day, that girl in my neighborhood will cruise by listening to that on her little scooter motorcycle thing. And
then we'll know for sure.
It's like, shouts out to you, young girl. I probably shouldn't say that, though.
Nope.
The shutdown of Spirit Airlines is expected to cause airfares to rise, especially in markets the low-cost carrier previously served. Other airlines like JetBlue are expanding their routes to capture passengers in markets where Spirit had a large presence. Spirit's fleet of over 170 aircraft will become available to other airlines through bankruptcy proceedings, though this will take time for that to happen. So they had 170 aircraft total that were in the Spirit fleet. Those will eventually go to Southwest. Who knows? I don't know, because Spirit Airlines didn't use the same kind of planes as everybody else. What planes does Spirit
I thought
use?
they looked like full-size planes. Maybe it'd been a little smaller.
They're Airbus A320s, though. So I don't know. Is that different? I'm going to say something really stupid. Is that still a 747?
No.
If it's an Airbus A320, it's a totally different type of plane, right?
It's a different model, but I think they're still comparable.
Okay. So, but they're going to go to these other airlines eventually, but it's going to take some period of time before we actually get there. So we'll see what happens. When we come back, a grab bag segment is upon us. Oh, we didn't even do the intro, did we?
Oh, gosh.
Did I forget?
You did
my
forget.
God, I forgot. I forgot. Well, we're officially into it. Let's do the Power Hour, baby.
They said it couldn't be done. Then they said,
He's screaming. He's hanging out in the window, naked, shaking his penis at everybody.
it's time for the Power Hour on the News Junkie.
That's a great quote. That's a great quote. Power Hour rolls on. We're back with more. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI predicts trends. We create moments. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Looks like traffic's starting to get by in the northbound and southbound lanes.
Dan, did I get it wrong? I knew I got it wrong. I'm sorry. I knew I got it wrong.
This report is sponsored by Tri-County Metal. When it comes to metal roofing, professionals trust Tri-County Metals. Now, get rewarded with a factory direct rebate up to $500. Learn more and register at TriCountyMetals.com.
Avoid the headaches of a traditional home sale and move on your timeline with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. No showings, no open houses, just a simple, stress-free.
Stand by.
Hi, this is Mark Spain. I've been in the business for nearly 30 years, and I know what matters most: selling your home fast and for maximum profit. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. and close in as little as 21 days. There's no obligation. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Hey everybody, Jim Gilbert here. You guys know I'm
Okay.
my life, and I will tell you, one thing I don't mess with is plumbing. Here's why. You make a mistake there, it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. That is one of the main reasons I lean on my friends at Modern Plumbing Industries. Employee-owned and in business since 1975, and they can handle it all. All plumbing service, drain and sewer service, water heater services, gas services, and water treatment services, and that's just where it begins. Contact Modern Plumbing Industries today at 407-327.
Stand by.
Learn more at modernpi.com.
Are you standing by?
And awesome at SeaWorld Orlando. Get up close to over 20,000 animals. Chill with new emperor penguins at an Antarctic encounter. Take a thrilling Arctic adventure on the all-new Expedition Odyssey. Now open and savor over 200 international flavors during the Seven Seas Food Festival with new rotating menus and over 30 concerts on select dates through May 7th.
Banger song to end on today.
SeaWorld. Save up to 30%.
Absolute gem.
Offer ends soon. Tax and service fees apply.
Like the girl group.
When you save for teachers, you're making smart financial decisions. The kind of decisions that lead to more time to relax. And when you have more time to relax, you have more time to write a best-selling book about how to relax. Benefit
I'll cue that up next break.
decisions today, like 600
Okay, people.
account of direct deposit. Visit our new Berry branch for teachers.
How are we today? We good? Hanging in there? Power Hour on?
Smart for Florida. Open to all. Sure by TV. Here's a question. How many brokers does it take to insure your business? If you're like most business owners, the answer is way too many. Multiple policies, multiple applications.
Do points reset every day when you leave chat and come back? So sad? No, they don't. You must be in on a different account. But if you are in on a different account, a mod can give you a temporary password to log back in. And then when you log in with that password, change your password. All right?
It translates the legal jargon into plain English so you can understand it. And now you know what's covered and what's not. Right now, you could.
I'm down to only 18 tomato plants? My God.
Obligation. Find out if you're overinsured, underinsured, or somewhere in between.
What a travesty.
Insure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform,
Does Sun State John get an ROI? His return on investment is he gets to enjoy the show and see the fruits of his labor placed in here, used to create things to make other people hopefully happy. Now it's time for you to gift some subs. Even just one is very, very helpful and means a lot to me. You can gift subs to secret show subscriptions. Click the gift icon over on thenewsjunkie.com. Let's see you first-time gifters pop up. Get on the scoreboard. It is the best way to support the show. Only a small, tiny processing fee goes through to iHeart. You're not enriching the corporation. It goes to the people on secret shows, and it goes to me helping build up all this stuff to be able to do all of this. So go subscribe, number one, for as little as $2.99 a month to unlock secret shows, or gift subscriptions to the masses out there. Hit that gift icon at thenewsjunkie.com. We got to find out what happened by the White House yesterday. So let's investigate what happened by the White House. Who was this person? Who was the gunman? What was happening? We got to get into that now. Interesting story, actually.
Or 2013 or biglou.com.
Here's to the moms chasing toddlers or texting bad memes in the family group chat.
What the?
This Mother's Day, iHeartRadio honors all the moms in your life. Celebrate with the moms in music with iHeart Moms Radio. Explore playlists for the whole family, like Disney hits. Plus, plenty of mom-themed podcasts. Open the iHeartRadio app, search Mom, and listen now. iHeartRadio.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, FUN. F-U-N, FUN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Real Radio 104.1.
Home of the world famous game of magnets. This is the
And it's so good to have you hanging out with us today. Don't forget, keywords. We're doing them, baby, and you might as well give it a shot. I want to remind you of this, no matter who you are. If you're listening to this show, odds are you're on a station where they're playing keywords. When you hear them, participate. Put them in the website. You have a shot at winning $1,000. The idea that you don't do it is kind of crazy because $1,000 is nice, and way fewer people are playing than you think. So give it a shot. If you've been playing and you haven't won in a long time, now's your time. All right, we got all of these keywords.
Or if you haven't won ever.
If you haven't won ever. Yeah, like maybe you'll win again. I don't know. You got a shot at this for sure. So I want you to pay attention to the keywords on this station. When you hear them, do what the radio station tells you to do and get yourself $1,000 just like that. All right, a bit of a grab bag segment here on the show as we continue. A couple of things I wanted to try to work in. The first thing is something happened with the Secret Service around the White House yesterday. And it's been a little difficult to find out what exactly went down, but I think I have a press conference that they threw with Secret Service folks.
That didn't look like a press conference, what you're just looking at there.
No, not that. This is right here. This is the press conference from C-SPAN yesterday. It says the Secret Service confirmed a juvenile bystander was hit after an armed suspect opened fire near the White House.
Oh, this is not the story I was thinking you were going for.
Well, there's another one?
There's a different Secret Service story.
Oh, the suspect was shot by Secret Service officers and is now hospitalized. The juvenile is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Let's see if we can hear him. Oh, my God, that's so quiet. We can't do a press conference like this.
United States Secret Service.
Okay, they must have turned up the audio at some point, right? Right, I would imagine.
Did not sustain any life-threatening contact with that individual.
Wait.
That appeared to have a firearm. They
Wait, here we go.
agents that consistently
Got it.
patrol the outer perimeter of the White House complex identified a suspicious individual that appeared to have a firearm. They called in support from our marked uniformed Secret Service police to make contact with that individual. Upon making contact, that individual fled briefly on foot, withdrew a firearm, and fired in the direction of our agents and officers.
All right.
Returned fire and engaged. That individual was hit. He's since been transported to the hospital. I have no comments on his condition. I can tell you that at least one, I believe only one bystander was hit by the suspect. That individual is a juvenile. Did not sustain any life-threatening injuries, but he's also receiving treatment at the hospital.
Okay, when I saw this and I see a motive remains under investigation for the shooting, which comes after over a week after an alleged assassination attempt on President Donald Trump at the White House correspondent dinner, I'm going, well, I mean, do they think this is related for some reason? I don't. It sounds like there was a guy with a gun. He engaged with the Secret Service people, and then he shot at some young dude. And that was it. I don't think this was like a targeted attack. I don't think this person was like...
Sounded like they fired at an agent, though.
Yeah, they did, I think. But I don't think this was like somebody trying to take out the president. At least there doesn't seem to be any, any like evidence of that from this particular moment. So I think there's a lot of people on edge about the repeated assassination attempts. Other things, I don't want to talk about the Met Gala thing, so I'm going to actually skip this.
The other Secret Service story that I saw that I thought you were going for when you mentioned the Secret Service was this guy that they arrested in Miami in the hotel. Mm-hmm. Did you not see him?
No.
Oh, they got his mugshot on TMZ and everything. John Spillman, a Secret Service agent, is in police custody after allegedly being caught with his pants down in public. Law enforcement claims he was masturbating in a hotel hallway.
Yes, I did see this. Right, yeah. The Secret Service agent who somebody caught him. I've got a couple of stories about this. Let me see if I can find a good one.
He was working perimeter security as part of President Trump's visit to Trump National Doral Golf Club for the PGA Cadillac Championship. And they even have a picture of President Trump. Sorry, did I say Doral? Doral. Yeah. They have a picture of President Trump at the championship, and it looks like this guy's standing right next to him.
All right, here's
if that's the guy.
WPLG
talking.
Meantime, tonight, the chief of the Secret Service Uniform Division Police is confirming tonight that the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office has arrested an off-duty Secret Service officer. John Andrew Spillman is accused of indecent exposure.
Damn,
he was
buddy.
an employee of the U.S. Secret Service at the time of his arrest, based in Washington, D.C., and was immediately placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the criminal case and internal review. Spillman was in the Miami district as part of a detail that provided exterior security screening for an event. His assignment had concluded the day prior to his arrest.
Yikes.
Oh, that's probably not him right next to the president in that picture then. They just had a random picture.
Yeah, so I guess he was like naked in the hallway of the hotel and somebody called him out on it, and then he started going after those people. It was a whole damn thing. Quick update on that guy who's walking across the country and was live streaming when a vehicle crashed into him. He's back out on the road.
Oh, good for him.
He's walking from Philadelphia to California, and he has gotten out of the hospital. Humble Zay is continuing his 3,000-mile journey after being run over by a woman and miraculously surviving the whole adventure. I'm not sure if we can hear him or not. Should I try to play this? He's a religious man. He won't curse, will he?
W God, I was in a car accident 5 days ago. A car hit me 5 days ago. They thought it was over. They was laughing. Listen, man, today I did a record-breaking walk, 41 miles today.
Yeah.
Started at 6 in the morning.
Good for you.
Walked 14 hours. W God, W chat, man. I got my legs back. I came back better than ever, man. Listen, this the road from Philadelphia to Cali. Don't ever, ever, ever give up on yourself. Don't never give up on yourself. When you got a dream, you got a mission, you got a goal, you got to protect it. You got to go get it by any means necessary, man.
All right. Okay. All right. I get it.
W God.
Does that mean he's like streaming right now? This guy just like during the day, every day, Humble Zay. I'm going to find him. Let me see. Because I would imagine he's just.
That was the whole point. Was he was live like the whole time, and with some sort of wireless internet. Probably using up all the anytime minutes on that.
All right. Okay. Oh, he's live right now. Hang on. All right. It's raining on him right now. All right. He's in Indianapolis, Indiana, just cruising along. All right. I just wanted to see how many people are watching his stream right now. How's he doing? He's got to be doing pretty well. I'm on like a mobile version of Twitch for some reason. I don't know why this has happened to me. These are the kind of things that I have to deal with in life, folks. It's
poor
just
guy.
Unbelievable. There we go. All right, he's live right now with 484 viewers.
Rainy, be nice to the cuz.
All right, not bad, Humble Jake. Congratulations. I know that you're out there trying to make your way from Pennsylvania to Los Angeles or to California. That's a long way, and I hope you make it okay, buddy. I hope they don't plow into you again.
And to the rain, be nice to the cuz.
Yeah, he's been dealing with a lot, if you don't mind. All right. I had one more thing to work in here in this grab bag segment.
McKinnis
This girl who's getting some attention right now, 12 years old, arrested, 12 years old. Here she is with a perp walk.
Florida teen has been arrested and charged with threatening to shoot up McKinnis
Jenna Hall,
in
12.
Volusia County. She used her ex-boyfriend's account to send explicit threats to her teacher.
12-year-old. Is it not?
Yeah. Perp walking her.
Get in the cage.
That's what they're doing. They're going to put her in the cage.
Put that foot down when you get the other foot.
Cuffing her up.
Have a seat to your left, and we'll get back to you in a short while.
I say this every time. I couldn't imagine being 12 years old and being in that jail cell. No. Although if her attorney wants an angle here, she said her threat was, "You guys are all dead." But she spelled it D-E-D.
Ooh.
So maybe there's a loophole here where she could go, "Oh, I didn't mean dead."
No, that's short for doing excellent duties.
Yeah, you guys are all doing excellent duties. Congratulations. Yeah, you guys are all doing excellent duties, and I salute you for that. So that may be an out there just for her attorney. That's a little freebie from me to you.
Did you guys, growing up, ever have to watch a video in school that was supposed to be very educational and or scared straight even, but it backfired?
I think so, yes. I believe.
When I see these perp walks, and I know I would imagine this is not happening to this person because of their age, but I don't know if they still have the same protocols, but they were showing us a scared straight style, maybe less yelling video in school or whatever. And it was, they're taking the perp in and they're doing all the processing. And at some point, they have to do the check.
Yeah,
and they show
part of the process.
They
right?
didn't show visually the check, but you heard them give the commands to the arrestee of things to do for the check. And one of the commands was spread your cheeks.
Oh my God!
And we were of an age where hearing those three words in a serious situation.
That'll scare you.
Scary. We laughed our asses, and we said, "Spread your cheeks for the rest of the day."
I would have been scared. I would have been like, I don't want to have to spread my cheeks. I don't want to.
I think that's what that was kind of the point.
That was it worked on me. It didn't work on you guys. It didn't work on you at all.
Not been arrested, not had to do it, but it still backfired in as much as we were just joking about it the rest of the day.
I think I need to say something here before playing this. I saw this earlier and was going to play it anyways. But Dispatch Dan did email this to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. So I don't know if that sways any kind of prediction markets that are going on chat.thenewsjunkie.com. But this is supposedly the video of the plane hitting that truck that Amy Caulfield was talking about.
No sound?
No sound. Oh, hang on. Let me mute the sound just in case. I don't really see the moment of impact as much as I thought I was going to. I guess that's supposed to be it right there. It's supposed to be
Jeez. That's enough when the plane is that big and heavy and moving at that speed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm surprised, number one, that the plane didn't completely crash, and it looks very slight. But you're right, it was enough to roll the whole damn truck, I guess, because, well, the truck didn't even roll there and not in the frame. But this is the moment the United Flight wheels hit the side of the big truck, and the guy ended up crashing. Pretty crazy, and that's out there all over the place. I'll put it up on. It's technically, but I'll put that up on See It Now. I'm going to get a perfect screenshot. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and of course, today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
You keep missing it. If you want to hit the pinata, you got to aim it at the sun. Ow!
Stupid things people do on Cinco de Mayo. Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Happy Tuesday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we are going to be expecting a warm but seasonable day, meaning temperatures will be right around average. We'll plan for a high of around, say, 87 degrees today in Orlando. We'll stay mostly dry, but...
Rate the show! Rate the show, everybody. 10 out of 10. If it's a winner, it needs to go into the Hall of Fame. 1 out of 10 if it was an absolute loserville show. Give me your thoughts right now. 9 out of 10 loose seals on doors. You know it's important. I know it's important. All right, that's 114, 45.
We care about you and your investment success. We're dedicated to your financial goals, so we'll always give you our best efforts because you've earned it. We're Hennion and Walsh and committed to you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279.
Okay. I can't play this to seg it because Sealand's not here, and I'll be playing the audio on air. 10 out of 10 shaky pieces. 6 out of 7. 9 out of 10 waving window penises. 7 more sauce packets on the roof out of 10. How many 13-year-olds on a football field? Shaky Peens really won the day over, huh? It's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Come on. 9 out of 10 canceled concerts from Blue Dot Fever.
A beautiful, confident smile can change everything. It changes how people see you and how you see yourself.
9.7 really good seals out of 10.
At Sage Dental, we make that confidence possible. Using the latest technology, our caring team of dentists, orthodontics, and oral surgeons use minimally invasive techniques.
TM for Shaky Penis. 8 MTV Cribs from Abandoned Houses out of 10. 9 Naked Guys out of 10 says Government Cheese. How many plane stories? I mean, I think technically that was 2, right? Spirit Airlines bankruptcy update, and then plane wheels hitting the truck. I think that was 2, but there might be more.
Up to 65% on general or specialty dental care. Sage Dental, leading with innovation centered on care. Call 800-226-8844. 800-226-8844. That's 800-226-8844.
Okay, we're coming back to wrap up the show. Should be a fun one tomorrow, honest to God. Who's going bowling on Saturday? Can't wait to meet more junkies. I'll see you out there. I know you that. I know that's true. I'm excited to see you out there. All right, here we go. You're all chatter of the day. I'm phoning it in today. You're all chatter of the day. You're so great. I love you all. You're so beautiful. You're so fantastic. Stay gold.
Just call Mo. JustCallMo.com or 1-800-CALL-MO.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Your day already has enough drama. Don't let the oil light steal the show. Save up to 30% at Take 5. Just drive in, stay in your car, and be out in about 10 minutes. Take 5. Stay in your car. Get back to your day.
Occupying the space between high society and prison tattoos. This is the News Junk.
Very well, I'll explain here in just a moment as we wrap things up on a Cinco de Mayo and a Share the Show Tuesday. Thanks for being with us today. Learn more about the show at thenewsjunkie.com. There's an Oldo uprising as we come in to do the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. A couple of things I wanted to play for you. But one was the story that's just breaking as of now when we're live on the show. 2 dead, 3 injured after a gunman opens fire during a business meeting at a shopping center in Carrollton, Texas. Now, here's the weird thing to me. The suspect, that's why I called it the Oldo uprising, is a 69-year-old Sung Han Ho, who has been taken into custody. A 69-year-old shooter. There was a couple of stories in the last week or two where there's been shooters like this, and the shooters have been 60, 70, or even 80 years old. Old people are taking to mass shooting, I guess. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. But I know that happened in Carrollton, Texas. 2 dead, 3 injured after gunman opens fire during a business meeting at a shopping center. And the suspect is a 69-year-old Sung Han Ho and has been taken into custody.
Why does Carrollton sound familiar? Has there been an incident there before?
I don't know. They may have popped up on our radar before. I'm honestly not sure. I also have this lady crashing out over Wendy's, giving her a hilariously tiny a Frosty, which is so funny, but I think she's going to curse. I'm so worried.
Don't.
She did.
Don't play the audio.
Okay, I'll mute it. She did a survey. They asked her, they said, will you do a survey? And they said, we'll give you a free Frosty. And they gave her a free Frosty at Wendy's.
My gosh, it doesn't even... Oh, it's just barely branded with Wendy's. I did a 10-minute survey for this.
She got mad because of the Frosty that they gave her was like a 3-inch Frosty. Is this real? It's hilariously small. It's free, though. You can't complain about free. It's tough.
10 minutes is kind of a long time at a fast food place.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. I mean, that's a perfect size for a Frosty. I don't think you need a Frosty that much bigger.
You're not even going to get brain freeze from this thing.
My
not enough.
My wife has been buying these like tiny little ice cream cones, like you just keep in the freezer, and they're already preloaded with ice cream and covered in chocolate, but they're small. Them. Oh, they're just the perfect size.
They're probably the same ones I have. We have these in the freezer here. I always have these.
Mm-hmm.
I usually have. There's a like a name brand that Courtney gets sometimes, but we got a different one because it was 2 for $1. BOGO, baby. So it's probably the same thing.
Might be why we have two of them. It might be.
Yeah. You see, you ended up in the same situation.
We didn't talk about this. I think we ran out of time when we were talking about the Spirit Airlines thing. Have you pledged your money to buy Spirit Airlines?
No, but I saw that they were doing that. You think that's real?
It looks like. Well, here's the thing. They're not asking you to give money right now. They're asking you to pledge money.
Yeah,
and they just they're looking for pledges. And they're saying, here's our idea. Here's how it's going to work. Here's how the profit sharing would work eventually. If they
Spirit
start turning
2.0, owned by the people, it says. And they're saying they have to have a lot more money than this. Now I wonder if I should play this or not. I'm winging it.
Okay, so it's been about 2.5 hours, and y'all are really interested in all of us buying Spirit Airlines.
All right, so he shows letsbuyspirit.com. 40,000 people have offered up. They say that they've pledged $26 million.
Right
They're
now,
trying to get
that's where you're looking at. I'm on the live tracker right now, and it's $132 million that has been pledged.
Holy cow! What's that URL again?
Letsbuyspiritair.com.
Letsbuyspiritair.
When I saw it yesterday, they had been so bogged down by pledges that their servers had crashed, and they were trying to recover.
This is 3 days after Spirit goes down, and the minimum pledge is $45, and you have to pledge money, and you could get this. What do I hit? Pledge now? Pledge. Mm-hmm. Okay, here it is. 132 million total pledged. 133,000 people. Average pledge size $989. The target is $1.75 billion.
Well, it's gonna
crowdfunding an airplane company. Yeah, it could be. This could be something. They said it could be like the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are the only community-owned franchise. So they could have a Spirit-owned, a community-owned Spirit Airlines.
I think that makes the Green Bay Packers the only team that can't be moved. They can't up and move because they don't have this just one big owning company that says, you're not going to build us a new stadium. We're going to the next state over.
I dig that. Cyclonus, thank you for 10 gifted subs. At the end. Appreciate that. 10 gifted subs. Go claim those Secret Show subscriptions right on the website. All you have to do is click the button, and it'll say, hey, claim these Secret Show subscriptions, giving you full access to uncensored Secret Shows and all the rest. All right, it's time to get the hell out of here. Cyclonus, I'll add you to the scoreboard in just a moment. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
Didn't even talk about ball maxing, but we're probably better off for it. I'll just let you Google it. Yeah, ball maxing didn't make it into the show today, but this did. Today I Learned for a Tuesday, May 5th, 2026.
Oh, no, not for me. Ball maxing, no.
Yeah, the size of cantaloupes, buddy.
What?
Yeah, the size of cantaloupes. They're maxing. They're getting them all the way out. There's some guy who they talked to, and he goes, oh, this is the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life.
Buddy, you need to.
Hasn't done many things.
Have you never been to a theme park, bud?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it myself, but we'll leave on that note. Let's skip to the end of Today I Learned. Today I learned this guy right here. Elton John. That's right. Elton John once bought a train while he was on a 3-day cocaine binge. He had the vehicle shipped from Australia. He had 2 helicopters that were needed to deliver it to his house and drop it in the yard because when he was just blitzed out of his mind on all the good stuff, he decided to drunkenly, bingingly buy himself a train.
That's FU money. That's FU money right there.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show?